Like
Right.
you get the joke.
Facts.
I feel like they have gone so past uh, the joke that now it just feels like they're just belaboring the point.
Like I just feel like, man, y'all gotta stop this shit already. I mean, if it's really more like you know, um, Jim got his new album out. If y'all doing that because of his promotion, I just feel like I don't know. I'm so old school where I'm used to promotion for an album or a movie was you actually promoted it and people talked about it. They wasn't trying to make a fake beef for an album, and you know what I mean. So I just feel like like if y'all doing that for the new album and it's just whack. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's really a beef with them, then like I said months ago, then they need to just split up for good. And Dipset, Cam, you go your way, Jim, you go your way, and that's it. Because it's like you know what I'm saying. Like I don't understand how Jim is even mad at Cam. Like Cam brought you into this shit and he really didn't need to. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all broke. Like he made you, Joel Santana, um, Freaky Zeke executives in this. And Freaky talked about it on that or the dialogue interview where he's like, like I was CEO or whatever, and you had Cam was the president, and Jim had a position, and Jewels, and they were doing everything on their own and spending their own and funding their mixtapes and projects with their own money. They ain't run to Jay-Z like Bleak and the rest of them did. Freaky was like how Cam had like a $1 million debt or some shit, and
Mhm.
he they got work in Baltimore. That's why they was going up and like in and out of Baltimore. They were getting work down here and funded out all the mixtapes and all the albums on Rockefeller. Jay didn't do shit. He didn't do none of that with them. He didn't even want to work with them because he was feeling some type of way that they were signed to Rockefeller because Dame was always cool with Cam and Dame looked out for them. But they funded all they shit. You know what I'm saying? And Cam ain't had to bring none of them niggas on with him. He could have just kept all that money to himself, especially when he was in debt. You know what I'm saying? You $1 million in debt. He could have got the money, made the money back, and kept all that shit to himself. And he decided to share that with Jewels and with Cam and I mean with Jim and with Freaky. And this is the things that you give him. This is the things you give him, Jim. Like so, if it's real beef like that, then Cam need to be like, yo, Dipset over. I'm gonna do my thing. You do your thing. The thing with Jim is like I look at Jim like how I look at Ghostface and Sean Price because out of their collective, they kept their collective relevant. If it wasn't for Ghostface, Wu Tang would probably be irrelevant right now. He kept them out there in the mainstream and out there in the conversation for 20 years. He's the only consistent Wu Tang member when it comes to music. Same with Sean Price. Like Duck Down was it was only Sean and it was Buckshot doing those Ninth Wonder albums. That was it. Smith and Wesson was an afterthought. OGC ain't dropped shit in like 30 years. You know what I'm saying? It was Sean Price that kept Duck Down relevant still for the last 25 years on his solo run. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they capitalize off of that now where they have to drop shit because Sean ain't no longer here. You're not gonna have too many more Sean Price projects, if any more at all. You know what I'm saying? So Smith and Wesson had to come out with shit. You know what I'm saying? I wish the rest of them would come out. I wish Buckshot would come out with a new album. It's been a minute since he dropped anything, but you know, so that's how I look at him. Jim, when the split happened, Jim kept them relevant. Like he started Bird Gang. He had his artists. Stack Bundle, rest in peace. He had No Matrix and Max B. Him and Max B fell out. He had the what's the dude 730 cat. You know what I'm saying? He had his artists. You know what I'm saying? And he kept Dipset relevant when Cam wasn't dropping shit. When Cam was, I think his mother was sick at one point. You know, and he was making different moves, and so you got to give Jim his credit. But it's like I'm already tired of this beef because it's like I seen this happen like 10 years ago. We saw this happen. I'm like, yo, this shit is like already boring up to me. Like I don't care to hear no diss songs from them. If you're gonna split, then split already. You know what I'm saying? And
Is
Macy coming out and announcing that he's dropping a new album. I don't want to hear nothing new, no album from Mace. After Double Up, I'm good. I don't want to hear no new album from Mace. I don't care who's on it. I ain't doing no review for it. You know what I'm saying? Like you fool me once, you're not gonna fool me again. Because your best album was Harlem World. That was what, 97, 98? He ain't have a great album since Harlem World. You know what I'm saying? So and I want to know how was Mace coming out with a new album if he still owe Diddy 3 more albums? Because he signed like a 6 album deal for Bad Boy. So did he do the buyout that 50 Cent was trying to do, and Diddy was asking for like 3 million for Mace? And then that's really like how they beef started, and how did that go down where he's able to come out with a new album already?
unless is it possible that may feel like Diddy's in jail, so who's going to enforce the cease and desist
Right.
to stop the release of Mace's new album,
I
even if
don't
he
know.
does owe Bad Boy 3 more albums.
I mean, if it, I heard that, I don't know if that's written in stone. I heard that was the rumor that he had signed a 6 album deal with Bad Boy, and he only gave Puffy 3 albums. He got Harlem World, he had Double Up, and he had
Welcome
the
back.
yeah, the comeback album. The was it Welcome Back joint. So you still owe Bad Boy technically 3 more albums, and this is what 50 Cent was trying to get Mace on G Unit, and buy out his contract. And Diddy was like, "Oh well, I want 3 million," and 50 was like, "I ain't paying that because he ain't worth no $3 million."
It's going to be interesting because I get like I don't believe if Mace does put out a free set album, it's
Right,
not going to sell. It's not like if you put out a one disc album, it's
right,
not going to sell because the people that tune in to watch Mace talk sports with Cam every day,
right.
they're not tuning in to hear Mace rap. They hear
Exactly.
they're tuning in to see Mace eat popcorn,
Eh,
laugh that fake laugh of his, laugh at Cam's corny jokes, and pretend to know anything about sports.
now he still got the balls. Like, you know what? He should have capitalized when they had came out with that song with Jadakiss when they went on tour, and it was like
Oh,
Cam
was
Jadakiss.
it Gorillas?
Yeah, that's when he
Uh,
should have. Yeah, that's when he should have been like, "Yo, let me do an EP with Jada and Cam." You know what I'm saying? Because we've always wanted that. They've done songs together. You know what I'm saying? Like we always wanted a project with Mace and Jadakiss and Cam. That would have been fire. But he didn't do that
yeah, I
because
think
at
that
that
was
time he
about
was
the
still
time.
beefing with Diddy.
Yeah, didn't Diddy have something to do with the tour
Right,
not happening?
right. He was calling out Diddy, and he wanted his publishing. I don't even buy that whole story about how allegedly like certain artists on Bad Boy they were promised they publishing like 25 years later. I don't buy that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because we've heard the stories of Puffy not paying his artists, not paying the locks. How you gonna split up, a certain amount of I think what was it, like 10 G's or something, and they had to split that up between 3 members. How you splitting that up?
And now that Diddy's in jail, he's not going to want to give up
Exactly,
the publishing that he already holds.
exactly, and that whole thing with 112, they were on TMZ and they telling TMZ that was the plan all along. That I'm like, I don't believe that shit. He knew that he was gonna get caught, and that's when he started giving. publishing back to the artist. I don't believe that whole thing about. But if you made an agreement like that, they were stupid to do that agreement. Because so you basically was broke for 25 years, and then all of a sudden now is when you able to make money. If they can make money off of their catalog,
And then
because
say all is forgiven.
right, Aubrey from Danny D Kane was like Danny D Kane catalog not worth shit. That's why she didn't take the deal. It's like it's not worth shit on streaming.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah. They got screwed over when they were young. They didn't read the fine print. They didn't have their lawyers with them. Just like Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg signed a bad deal on Death Row, and he got finessed out of millions as well.
and in Snoop's case, he was snaked out of his publishing
Right,
because guess who was Snoop's manager when he was on death row?
right,
Suge Knight's then wife, Sharifa.
exactly,
So that's a conflict of interest. So you have the spouse of the owner of the record label being the artist manager,
exactly.
and not only is Suge Knight, he's making money not only off of the retained earnings of the label,
Right,
but he's making money off of your royalties and publishing.
right.
So the only money that Snoop did have was probably show money and the little trinkets that Suge gave him for cars, houses, jewelry.
I'm just like, yo, that I don't believe none of that. Biggie's publishing. I thought he gave Biggie's publishing back to his family a long time ago. I didn't know he still had it.
What can you? So can you like? I don't understand. Like the letter Wallace just passed,
Uh,
and apparently she had a trust set up for Biggie's children
mhm.
and her grandchildren. So
But-
I shudder what's going to happen to that trust and what's going to happen to the assets that was in her possession.
Well, I mean, I guess that goes automatically to Big's kids, to Tiana and Christopher Wallace Jr. and CJ. So I would think it do. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They should have been had it. I didn't know that they just now getting his publishing back. I thought they been had that shit already. Because
Yeah,
Puffy was, huh?
because I like the letter Wallace seems like a very savvy businesswoman that I'm guessing made sure that all of her business holdings were ironclad for her grandchildren
Right,
and their kids. So
right.
I was just saying, man, I would now that she's gone, there's going to be people coming out of the woodwork trying to claim possession of those assets.
What up? What up, Sean? What's good? I'm just saying, like, um, look. We know this for years. Puffy was milking Big's name and his legacy for years. Because it's like when you look at it, the Born Again album, right? Now it's like this is something that I didn't know until recently. Because back then we didn't have the internet or anything. I didn't hear nothing about this back in the day. Supposedly Biggie had signed a 3 album deal, and Ready to Die was gonna be a trilogy. It was Ready to Die, Life After Death, and Born Again. And Born Again was gonna be his last album on Bad Boy before he left. So he used the Born Again title for that makeshift album, and then put all the features on there, and the Biggie verses that were used, and some of them wasn't used or whatever. But that was gonna be the official title of Big's third album and his last album on Bad Boy. And then he comes out with the duets project. And then he comes out with the King and I. Well, it wasn't really him. I don't think the King and I album with Fake Diamonds was on Bad Boy, right?
I'm not sure.
That I know he had something to do with that. I don't think it was directly on Bad Boy, but that was pretty much Faith, spearheading that project and having Little Kim on there. I mean, after seeing Little Kim ain't speak for years, so just to have Little Kim on there was like a shock to me. But that's an album I could see Big and Faith actually doing if he was alive at some point. They would have did that. You know what I'm saying? Because they were like the power couple in hip hop. Faith Evans that just came out with her first album in '95. Big had already blown up with Ready to Die, but Puffy was milking Big's legacy, even on the Dirty Money album, Last Train to Paris. That Angel song. He have a verse from Biggie on there. You know what I'm saying? I'm like he been doing this for years. And for some reason I thought, how stupid of me, I thought that Big's estate had gotten his publishing back. I didn't know he just gave them they publishing. I don't understand that.
I do think that if Diddy was free, I think Diddy would have made a lot of use out of AI.
For Big,
Yeah, because like Diddy just seems like he has no
he
scruples,
don't care. You're right.
no integrity.
Right.
I believe he would have used AI to to make one more buck off of Biggie.
Right. I agree. But not to get on. I don't know how we started on the Puff thing, but I just was talking about. I don't want to hear another Mace album, but the whole Dipset thing, I really don't care because we've been down this road before, and I feel like if it's real beef with them, then just end Dipset. Like Cam was an artist on his own before Dipset even was formed, so it's not like he can't do it again. You know what I'm saying? Jim has established himself now as an artist, and you know, I don't even think I could call him an executive. He was at one point, but I don't because he don't bring out artists that he had around him, and that's something that Cam had mentioned. Like Mel Matrix, I think Mel Matrix is locked up. Like he's doing the bid. He don't look out for him. Stack is dead and gone. People felt like Jim was behind that shit. Max B has been in prison. It seemed like almost 20 years. He ain't look out for Max B. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So like everybody that was an artist that was around them don't come out. So I can't even call him an executive. You know what I'm saying? But he's established himself as an artist where he don't need Cam no more. He's his own artist. Like he basically is a self-made artist. He had to build his own fan base and buzz for his mixtapes and his albums because he didn't get no deal on Rockefeller. That was only Cam and Jewels. Those two Jewels albums, those are directly on Rockefeller and Dipset. That was Joel Jim Jones. It wasn't. Maybe Jay felt like he was not good enough, or Dame, but Jim ain't get no record deal on Rockefeller. So he had to go out on his own and hustle and create his own buzz, which is what a lot of these artists don't do because they want to rely on a record label, and you can't call yourself an independent artist if you're relying on a big name record label. You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
The idea of being independent is that you are financing
Yes.
all of the processes of putting out music yourself.
Exactly, and that is the thing right now that's going on between Jermaine Dupri and Joe Budden. Joe Budden is wrong because Joe Budden was signed to Def Jam, and we promoted this shit, and it still didn't fucking sell. But he
Hmm.
can't blame Jay Z for that. That's not Jay Z for a call. You know what I'm saying? Now the shit after that happened with Jay taking over Def Jam and the feud that was going on with Joe. First of all, you a brand new artist. You shouldn't be beefing with no executive at a record label. So he was wrong for that. I don't care if it was Jay Z. I don't care if it was Diddy or whoever. You a new artist coming into the game. You on one of the best hip hop labels at that time with Def Jam, and you already have a feud going on with the executive. He was wrong for that. So he left and he had to do the mixtape thing. And I mean, did it work for him? Because when you refer to when people refer to his music, they always go back to the mood music series. He had a whole bunch of independent albums that came out after that nobody talks about. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
what
So
a Rage Against the Machine,
right.
loose, was it loose
He had the No
corners?
Love Lost album and you know what I'm saying? So they don't talk about none of those albums. They go back to the mixtape series. You know what I'm saying? So it's like this whole thing. He's going at it with Jermaine Dupri. I'm like, Joe Budden, you became an independent artist later on in your career. You wasn't an independent artist before. You was on Def Jam and you fucked that shit up.
And also, Joe Budden, when he was a member of Slaughterhouse,
Right.
he picked a fight with Eminem and
But
Paul
Eminem,
Rosenberg.
exactly. And you went to another major. I forgot all about that. You went to another major with Shady Aftermath and Interscope. And you fucked that shit up because you were beefing with Eminem about the revival album. If you didn't like it, you could have
Keep
kept
it
that
to
to yourself
yourself.
or to close friends and family. You don't go out on social media and say, "Oh, well, I hate my boss's new album," because it's gonna get back to your boss.
And also, he was a member of a group. So not only is his comments going to affect Joe Budden, it's going
Right.
to affect the other three members of
Exactly.
that group. If he was a solo artist and he said that, that would have been fine because it would have
Exactly.
been only him. But it left Crooked Eye, Joel Ortiz, and Royce the Five Nine
Exactly.
in the lurch.
And this is what has become. So it's like when you see him on this podcast, I'm like, yo, he picked the perfect platform for him because that is how he is. That is who he is. You know what I'm saying? The whole shit with him and Drake, and that is who he is. You know what I mean? So you already fucked up two major label deals, and then you got the nerve to go at Jermaine. Jermaine Dupri's a legend. For him to take two kids out of a mall just because of their swag and turn them into multimillionaires, that's brilliance. Not every executive could have did that shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially at that time in '92. You know what I'm saying? And he's had mega hit records as a producer and songwriter for artists. Why are you beefing with Jermaine Dupri about what? He knows more about the business than Joe Budden does.
And I think Jermaine Dupri has a better gauge on what's happening in music. Because when you hear
Exactly.
Joe Budden talk about the music industry, it's always secondhand. Like, I talked to this person and told
Hmm.
me about this label merging and these layoffs where Jermaine Dupri, he still has solutions. He still has ideas
Hmm.
on how to put out an artist and help that artist thrive, crossover, and succeed. And you mentioned it like Chris Cross.
Hmm.
That he was a songwriter, the producer,
Yep. Everything.
the executive, and he did the fashion.
Right.
Like he did
Everything.
what Diddy later went on to do
Well, I mean, so
with his life.
supposedly when he met Chris Cross at the mall, they already had that look. They were already rocking their jeans backwards, and they had the baseball jerseys and all that. You know what I'm saying? And that was different even then for them because like we didn't rock our jeans backwards up here. Like that was not a New York thing. You know what I'm saying? I never wanted to rock my jeans backwards. Like the start of baseball jerseys and shit, with the hats, we had all that. The Jordans, we were rocking all that. The Jabot jeans, but they already had their look, and he was like, "Yo, I can make these two guys superstars," and that's what he did. And they were the only rap group to ever be featured on an episode of Lifestyles of
Just the
the Rich
world.
and Famous with Robin Leach. They were the
Well,
only ones. Not Run DMC, not Cool Mo D or LL Cool J. Chris Cross was the only rap group on that show.
well, I didn't know that,
Yeah, I saw that episode. That says a lot because they were already rich and famous at 13, 14 years old.
and they were also in a different world.
Right, and they were in a different world. That's right. They played two gang. I think that they were in a gang or whatever. They had beef with each other, and Dwayne had to like really give them that knowledge. Like, yo, what y'all doing in the streets is wrong. You're gonna get killed. And that they end up later using on their second album as a clip on the Bomb album. You know what I'm saying? And That is the brilliance of Jermaine Dupri. Joe Budden should never even that conversation should never even happen with Jermaine Dupri. Because if anything, he could do a hit record for you right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like he literally talked about like yo, like he spent his own money and funded a EP that he did with Currency, and I heard that album for promotional use only. Fire project with Currency and Jermaine Dupri. You know what I'm saying? And Currency is an artist that don't get a lot of recognition, and I don't understand why. I'm guessing it's because he's from New Orleans, but he don't sound like Weezy. He don't sound like Juvenile. And this dude has done projects with The Alchemist, with Styles P, with Jermaine Dupri. Like Currency is been one of the most consistent artists that I've heard in the past 20 years, and he don't get that same type of recognition that everybody else get. And I don't get it.
do you
You know what I'm saying?
find?
And that is the brilliance of Jermaine Dupri. Why like Joe Budden should never have that debate with Jermaine. Like you should be hitting up Jermaine for a beat.
And it's funny that Currency, he like he's very prolific
Right.
as an artist, and he doesn't have a sixth of the popularity of Jay Electronica.
Exactly. Exactly. And look how long it took Jay Electronica to come out with that album where you got half of the damn albums is with Jay-Z and it still didn't sell and people still didn't like it.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you
And
could
that
have came
Grammy
out with that,
nomination,
huh?
and that Grammy nomination,
Right. And a Grammy
and that,
nomination for because Jay-Z was on it. Because if Jay wasn't on it, he wasn't getting that Grammy nomination.
yeah, it kind of felt like a nod to Jay Z, like a favor for a
Right.
favor.
Right. You know what I'm saying? We wanted the album that you did a long time ago with Just Blaze. That's the real album that we wanted. We never got that. Instead, he put out this fake Cuban Link album, and they had people talking about, "Oh, this is the best shit since Ray and Ghost." No, it's not. It was never that. It was never on that level.
And also the fact that Jay Electronica included Shiny Suit Theory,
Right.
that showed me just how lazy
Uh
he
huh.
is.
Exactly.
If you couldn't be bothered to make an additional new song
Exactly.
for the album, that lets me know that you're resting on your laurels. You
Yep.
are just happy going through life, coasting on Jay Z's back. And it ain't like you. It's not like you and Jay Z were trading bars as good as
Ray and Ghost.
Rain Ghost.
Right.
Because
I agree.
when you say that's the album that's as good as Only Built for Cuban Links, then where are the songs that are as good as
Exactly.
Wishes of Ice, uh,
Exactly.
Ice Cream, um, uh, Knuckleheads?
Even if they were in, even if Jay and even if Jay Z and Jay Electronica were in a prime, they still wasn't topping Cuban Link. That is
Exactly.
that is that is a culture changing album for all genres, not just rap. But the way that the culture moved when that album came out and the way that it influenced mafioso rap for other artists, that is a cultural changing album. And Jay Electronica don't have that in the discography right now. So when I'm seeing these comments and people saying this is the best shit since Rain Ghost, I'm like, what? So let me get this straight. So because Jay Z is piggybacking on that album, y'all are saying that he's the Ghostface and Electronica is Ray? No, not even, not even.
And also, like, that's not even the best conscious album of the 21st century.
No,
I saw a lot of people say, man, this album is so conscious, it's so, um, uh, pro black.
right,
You can have all of that in the lyrical content, but that doesn't make it a good album.
Exactly. And the Alchemist was a part of the album, and even the Alchemist beats, I was like, this is shit. Like Alchemist ain't even give them his best shit. He was saving that for everybody else. He's like, yo, I'm not giving Jay and Electronica, my best shit. I'm gonna save that for Conway. I'm gonna save that for Betty's album. I'm gonna save that for Currency and everybody else he was working with at that time. So even the Alchemist shit that was on there wasn't great. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah,
And it's just like I'm like, yo, there was too much buffoonery going on social media regarding this culture, and I don't like what I'm seeing. This whole thing with Jermaine and Joe Budden and Dipset, like, come on. Like, if Dipset, if you're gonna break up, then just break up already. Like, I don't want to hear about it every time I log in and I'm seeing that. Oh, Jim Jones said this and Freaky said that. I'm like, come on, we talking about shit that happened like 20 years ago.
when did you like? I was actually I was looking at Jim Jones' interview on the Joe Budden podcast,
Mhm.
and he said the same thing on the Breakfast Club, and I'm like, this explains why he has such an immature mindset. He said that gangs are not that different from fraternities.
I saw that, and I think he's wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
I think he's wrong. 'Cause fraternities ain't out there killing people like the gangs in the street. It's a totally different. I don't understand what he even mean by that.
and even and even if you want to compare like the hazing that fraternal that brothers in fraternities do to new pledges, usually those things they're usually harmless.
Right,
They're usually to test determination, loyalty, your problem solving skills. They usually are for they usually for self productive reasons. Like when gangs do their initiation, they're causing harm to other people.
right.
And
I don't think anybody that they join a fraternity, they leave that fraternity and join another one will get killed over. If you join a gang and you wear the wrong colors, more 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get killed.
and I couldn't believe that he said that it is not illegal to be in a gang.
Crazy.
That's like saying um, it's not wrong to run the light. So by his logic, you can just when you're driving, you just run the red light, and whatever happens, you're not going to get arrested. You're not going to go to the hospital. You may not get killed. Like all of those dangers just don't exist.
Exactly. Yeah, like I'm not surprised at Jim. I don't think I've ever seen an interview where Jim actually made sense. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
I don't tune in to hear what he has to say because I know how he is already. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like
remember a few years ago when
um
he said um, that being a rapper is more dangerous than being a soldier in a war.
well it depends on where you live. If you're a rapper as him and people know that you have money and you in the hood, it would be dangerous. Which is why they can't stay in the hood once they become famous. They got to be in the suburbs because it's protected in the suburbs. It's safe out there. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't be in the hood and be a multimillionaire because you're not gonna live.
But you can be a rapper without putting yourself in dangerous situations.
Yeah, you could,
But
but
you but you can't
even if
but you
you,
can't
I like let's say like in New York is different. I can't speak for like Cali and everywhere else. New York is like There's celebrities that they love living here because they could blend in with the people. California, you can't do that because there's paparazzi everywhere. If you go out to eat, paparazzi gonna be at where you at. You can't have a quiet meal. New York is different. You can do that. Like I've met celebrities just walking the street with no security. You know what I'm saying? Deborah Messing, the from I think she's on Will and Grace. Met her in person and she was by herself on her cell phone because people even though they know who she is, they're not gonna fuck with her. You know what I'm saying? Will and Jada met them at a comic book store of all places, and they had no security with them. They blend in because people not gonna fuck with them. They know it's look Will and Jada. They know who they are. Like maybe now it'll be different. You know what I'm saying? Because of the things that happened in a personal life, it'd be probably be different now. But if they were like a family out shopping for their kids, nobody fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? And you can still be a celebrity here and live a celebrity life without what I'm saying without being too audacious. Like Jim, you see how Jim dress. He wearing 10 chains on his shit. He can't live in
Yeah,
no
that
in no
that's
he
him.
can't live in he can't live in no hood or like a residential area with what I'm saying with like like what's the word I'm looking for like a mid level with like he can't live on a block where it's like families that have like a mid level income. He have to be in the suburbs with the way that he is with his jewelry and his clothes and cars and shit. He would have to live in the suburbs. He can't live in like Harlem and you on 125 because they would rob him. They don't care if it's Jim Jones or not. What up, Reg?
But I would make the argument that Jim Jones he draws that kind of attention
He does.
because of his quote unquote gang affiliation.
Right, that too. You know what I'm saying?
But
But look at Cam. Remember when Cam was riding around in that blue Lambo, and he would
mhm.
be in the city with the blue Lambo. Cam couldn't park that blue Lambo on a residential block. They would have stole that shit. He would
yeah,
have to
because
live in the suburbs with that type of car.
because like the property value of that block is probably a tenth of what that car
Right,
is valued at.
right, right.
But if you look at Common, does Common strike you as a person that he when he's in Chicago, there's a threat of
He-
him getting robbed
No,
or him getting
because he and people know Common. They seen him in movies and shows and shit, and they won't fuck with him because he's not audacious like that. He's not out there flashing his riches. You know what I'm saying?
exact
He's still one of us because like yo, like that whole time, the whole year when he was promoting the album with Pete Rock, and you seen him on these different talk shows and shit, and he did tours, he did concerts and all that. He wasn't dressing like a celebrity. He had on regular stuff we rocking. He had on the sweatsuits. He had on the joggers. He had on the regular shit. He wasn't rocking 10 chains around his neck and shit.
exactly. So when Jim Jones said being a rapper is more dangerous than being a soldier
No, it's
in a
dangerous for him.
war. Exactly.
It's dangerous
Like
for him.
if you would have said being a rapper that talks street shit and wears chains and really claim a gang affiliation, then I would agree with him. But you don't see those problems with Common. You don't see those problems with um, E40
Mhm.
with uh, trying to think like name some people that they can be in their hometowns without
Right.
worrying that they're going to get robbed
Onyx.
or
Onyx for
set up.
sure.
Who?
Onyx.
Yeah, I can see that.
because they so, and you know they got money. They so street that niggas ain't gonna fuck with them. I saw a video that the weekend that SNL had the big 50th anniversary. There's a video where Tiger flew into New York and he went straight to Manhattan to this leather jacket spot. He bought like 10 G's worth of Pele leather jackets. If Tiger was living in the hood, he could not wear that shit in the hood like that. He would
Hell
have to
no.
be in the suburbs.
I mean, first of all, that's like 1,000. Those Pelly jackets are $1,000 up.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
What I know he
that's
bought.
that's rent money.
Yeah, he bought like different colors for himself, and he might have bought one for his one of his peoples that was with him. But he had people with him. He was not getting on the subway with 10 G's worth of Pele leather jackets. That wasn't gonna happen.
And like you usually wear Pelly when you're going to the club,
Right.
when you're going to some kind of social event
Right.
with people that have as much money as you do.
Right. Like he told the Indian guy, he told the Arab guy in India that like he was gonna wear one for one of his video shoots coming up, and he wanted a fit for the SNL celebration because he was at the SNL celebration. He ended up wearing like a leather like a down leather peacoat or something like that he had. But if he had bought those 10 G's worth of Pele jackets, he would not be on the subway with them shits. Telling you, they
Yo,
would have
he
robbed him.
he he would have been laying in his own blood.
Nah. He would have to be in the suburbs with that shit. You ain't rocking no 10 G's worth of Pele in the hood.
And as a in those Pelly coats, man, like they look so puffy, like they're very bulky.
Right. They
Like
are. He
man,
had a
like
hard time
they're not
finding his
even practical to wear though.
he had a hard time finding his size because like he was trying on the medium, but the medium wasn't fitting him. So he had to go up like a size to a large. He was like the large too big, and the guy was like, "I'll custom make one for you," because I think he wanted like a black one, and they didn't have the black one that he wanted. But like if he lived in the hood and he was Tiger, he would have got robbed for that. There's no way in hell you're gonna be rocking 10 G's worth of Pele in the hood, and people see you on TV. That wasn't gonna happen.
Like those were the what they North Faces
Yeah.
where it looks very bulky
Uh-huh.
and they kind of feel like bean bags.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
like imagine the feel of a bean bag, but it's on your body.
That's why like I never like I think that they look a lot better now than they did in the 90s. Like I remember trying them on and feeling like it don't feel warm. It don't feel like a warm coat. You know what I'm saying? Like the insulation wasn't warm enough. I remember I had a girlfriend that I went with her to buy a North Face, and she bought like a yellow one back in 2000 like 99 2000. And I mean that was the craze. Like people loved them. Even now they still love them. But I think they designed their coats a lot better now than they did in the 90s.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like I remember trying them on. I'm like, they don't I didn't like them because I'm like they don't feel warm to me. Like it gotta be warm for me first before the style. Like, yeah, the style could be everything, but if you cold as fuck in the jacket, then what was the point of buying it in the first place?
the kind of you remember those state property
Yeah.
jackets?
Yep. I remember them
Same thing,
shits.
man. Like you have to like I remember trying them on.
Yeah.
Like you got to have like a couple of hoodies,
Yep.
maybe a turtleneck to really
Yep.
feel insulated, man.
Yeah.
Because if it's like during the winter, like
Yep.
our winters,
Oh yeah.
like you'll still be shivering and you still got that on. Like you got to have
Exactly.
a turtleneck and some hoodies underneath.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And I never gravitated to North Face then. Like now I think their stuff is great. You know what I'm saying? But like I would rock, the first down coats or the Tommy coats. Triple Fat Goose when that was a thing back in the 80s and early 90s, and them coats were warm. You know what I'm saying? And they were stylish. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I think North Face has always been a great staple, but I think their coats are much better made now than it was back then.
You know, I
For
always
some
like whenever I would, whenever I would wear them for some
Yeah,
reason, it always made me feel like a rapper.
right. Yeah, because the rappers had that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they still rocking it. There's some that's still rocking. I've seen there's others that rock the polo coats. Those are warm too because I've tried those on in the past where I almost got almost was gonna get one. I saw Tech last night. He did some interview and he had a polo coat on and polo is that's polo like they make the best shit. So I never heard nobody say, "Oh, this polo coat is not warm for me,"
Yeah,
you know. But it's like that shit was dangerous for Jim because of the way that he is. It ain't dangerous for everybody. So he's wrong on that statement too. You had Spike
yeah.
Lee. Spike Lee is like everybody knows Spike Lee. Spike Lee had a brownstone, and he might still have it in Fort Greene, Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? And that's not Fort Greene is good, but it ain't Beverly Hills.
I
And he's
mean,
been
it
there.
got to be hella gentrified now.
Yeah, yeah, like it's gentrified now. But even back then, before gentrification, like he was still living there like, because that's his home, and nobody fuck with him. Nobody tried to rob him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they have that much respect for Spike Lee. And he wasn't out there with showing his celebrity like Jim Jones. So Jim for Jim is dangerous, not for everybody else.
And Jim Jones, like he's like a fascinating case study because this dude lived in the suburbs, right?
Right.
But he will bring camera crews of him going to Harlem, and all he's doing is just posting up on the block,
Yeah.
smoking weed, rolling the Dutch, and just talking shit
hmm
with the people that are there.
That's the attention that he like. You know what I'm saying? And I think Cam has moved on. Cam is into more better things, and if that's the case, then they need to end Dipset and just. I feel sorry. This is the thing. Jewels is caught in the middle, and I feel like Jewels is another guy that he needs to be. You've been out. You ain't. First of all, you didn't drop the Reagan era album that he's been promising us for 20 years because I guess he's gonna blame Jay Z for that too, right? You go to jail for something stupid that he know better for. He come out promises this new music. Now he dropped a couple singles, but we want a full project. We didn't get a full project since what the game's been missing.
Hmm.
You know,
And I think Jules, he has to realize that the industry has changed. Like
right,
waiting for waiting for a label to
right,
pick you up. Those days are gone. Like
right.
just put out the music.
Put out the music, like yo, like the minute he came out of jail is the buzz should have started to happen. You know what I'm saying? People been wanting a new album from him forever. You never dropped the album with Lil Wayne. We've been waiting for that forever. That never came out. He told Vlad that I think it was something with I think it was Def Jam that had blocked that release or whatever. Even if that's the case, you had other mixtapes that you came out with. He has to build his buzz again because he ain't been out in so long. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
I feel like him out of everyone else is caught up in this. He's in the middle of this, which is probably why he ain't come out and take no side because he's friends with Cam and Jim. He a part of Dipset. Like that Dipset album, the first one, was great because of Jewels. I always said that he was the MVP of that album because a lot of those songs that he was featured on, he was the highlight of that song. Whether it was Dipset anthem, that's all. Like, even though it was him and Cam,
Hmm.
Jewels was the star of of that song.
And he had that youthful
Right,
energy. You
right.
know,
He was
he was
hungry.
like in the he was in a great position
Yes,
because he was young enough to be a ladies' man,
right,
but he was also young enough that he could be relatable
right,
to guys,
right.
whether they
And
were street
that's
dudes.
why he had the solo. That's why he had the solo deal in Rock, and Jim didn't because they believed more in Jewels. You know what I'm saying? And he just did dumb shit. Just thinking with the guns in the studio, and then he had the loaded gun at the airport, and they caught him. That's just stupid shit. He
Hmm.
should have knew better. You know what I'm saying? And I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like he's caught up in the middle of this shit. It's like, yo, regardless of what happens between Jim and Cam, he always gotta do his own thing. Don't worry about what happens with them. If Dipset break up, then they break up. But he gotta be his own artist and not worry about what's gonna happen with Jim, what's gonna happen with Cam. Cam done moved on.
And also, if you look at it, Rockefeller disbanded 15 years ago. Like
Right.
Dipset is no longer the Dipset of 2002
Right. Exactly.
to
Exactly.
2007. Like y'all had y'all run. Hip hop lore will always remember you for being one of the premier cliques and crews coming from New York City in that era. Like it's time to let it go. Like for Joe Santana, the best thing that he can do is put out the music
Yeah.
because people will not. If the music is good, they will say, "Man, he is having a resurgence. He's doing it on his own without, you know, worrying about Jim Jones and Cameron."
Yeah.
And Joe Santana, he's not 19 anymore. Like
Exactly. He got kids. He got grown kids. He,
exactly,
he's
like
coming off a divorce with Kimbella. You know what I'm saying? And I would love to see a Dipset reunion tour because like I saw them I saw them in concert. Well, I saw Cam in concert. I think he Jim and Joel's wasn't there. I saw Cam in concert, but I would love for them to run it back and have a tour where they bring back J.R. Ryder, 40 Cal, Purple City, and them. But a lot of those artists done moved on, and I don't know their relationship, how their relationship is with Cam and with Jim. It's so reminiscent of Murder Inc. because when Gotti was planning that Murder Inc. 20th anniversary tour, him and Ashanti wasn't talking, and they couldn't do the tour because people was not going out to see a Murder Inc. tour with just Ja Rule. They wanted to see Ashanti, and Ashanti and him wasn't talking. So that's why the tour never happened. And it's like, and then like the businessman that Irv was, you never came out with none of these other artists that was on the roster. We talked about that. We didn't come out with Charlie. You didn't come out with Black Child and Cadillac and all these other Vita in them. So it was like, why are you all doing a Money Inc. tour and none of these artists ever came out with shit? What are they gonna do? Like a collab? You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking like,
So
well,
you basically gonna have Charlie Baltimore comes out to do what, 2 songs and that's it. Then she goes in the she goes backstage because what is she doing? Her album got shelved.
I was
Nobody
thinking
nobody know the songs.
like what if Black Child had did his freestyle over user Wankster with
Right.
50?
What are they gonna do? So it was like that tour wouldn't have made no sense at all. It would just been a Ja Rule and Ashanti tour.
I
You know
think
what I'm saying?
Irv, God bless Irv Gotti, but one of the things that really bit him in the ass was his lack of development of Cadillac Ty and
Exactly.
Black Child.
Exactly.
Because Cadillac Ty was more promising. Like Black Child, like he's just too hardcore and rugged, to sell millions.
But
At
I
least
don't
with
think.
Cadillac Ty,
But even with them, even with their roster, I don't think everybody on their roster was gonna sell millions anyway, though.
no, but for Irv Gotti,
Right.
It was platinum or bust.
Well, it would have been bust because I don't think Black Child would have went platinum. I don't think Vita would have went platinum. I don't, you know what I'm saying? They would have to have like a shitload of features on their albums and do remixes for them to even hit platinum status on there. I don't think everybody on that roster were capable of doing that.
What would have been more realistic is if instead of thinking platinum, Cadillac Tide, he could go gold. Vita could go gold.
Right,
And your cash cow will be able to
right.
absorb any losses that Irv Gotti believes he would have
I I
taken.
I do think Charlie would have went platinum if she was out because they did promote her. The whole thing with her album never coming out, I have no idea what that's about. I don't know if it was a something between her and Irv or what, but I think because that she was on the Murder Inc. compilations, she was on Ja Rule's album. I think she definitely would have been able to go platinum. You know what I'm saying? But other than those three, who else on that? You said Cadillac Ty would have went platinum?
No, I said it would have been realistic for Irv Gotti to put out Cadillac Tide's album
Right.
because I believe he could have went gold, not
Oh yeah.
platinum.
Right.
And my point was Irv Gotti should have been realistic and readjusted his expectations.
I agree.
Like Cadillac Tide, he could go gold. Vita could go gold. Like I think he spent too much time focusing on Ja Rule. Like Ja Rule, he was big enough where he could be self-contained.
Mhm.
He could handle his own self.
Right.
You know, it's kind of like when you have a basketball team. Like the best player will have enough discipline where he can do the drills. He can uh, do the game planning. He can like he's going to be self-driven.
Right.
It's about making sure that the other four starters are going to
Exactly.
be able to play at his potential.
Exactly. Like look at Rockefeller. Like not every artist on Rockefeller went platinum, but they promoted them for the most part. You know what I'm saying? God knows Jay-Z promoted Bleak. Bleak was just not a platinum selling artist. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And Beans could have been platinum consistently if he had just focused on the business and not the streets. I blame that's more Beans' fault than Jay, because Jay tried to groom him as a businessman. You know what I'm saying? Um, Same with state property. You know what I'm saying? So the only issue I have with Rockefeller when it comes to the artists is that you had artists like Rel that was there from the start, and he never dropped the album. But Emil dropped the fucking album. Where was Rel's album at?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, how does Emil skip the line and manages to come out with an album and not Rel? So you sign MOP, they don't come out. You had ODB. There was issues with that. You know what I'm saying? So
that was a sad signing, man.
it was
Because the like I get that Dame Dash like he was motivated to sign Dirty to make money,
right.
but I could not imagine even if Dirty was in his prime and he was healthy and he was not on drugs. Dame Dash is way too driven by branding and
Yeah.
too driven by money to
He,
really give ODB the
he didn't
kind of focus and development
he didn't
that
he didn't
RZA and Divine would have.
he didn't fit with them. It would be like if Superman left the Justice League and he joined like Fantastic Four. He don't fit with them. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? It's like that signing when he's. I'm like, yo, where the fuck is Wu at? Like, how did Wu let this happen? How did ODB sign with Rockefeller and y'all not look out for him?
yeah. I was watching that VH1 documentary on ODB's release from prison and signing to Rockefeller.
Right.
when ODB said that nobody from Wu Tang went to go see him in prison,
Right.
that explains a lot
Yeah.
of his thought process.
I agree.
I thought Wizard should have been more proactive.
Yeah, I agree.
First of all, making sure that Dirty was okay, that put some money on his books.
Right. That's his
Uh,
cousin. That's his blood cousin too. Him and Jizza. Where was
exactly.
Jizza at?
Like I could like of all of the members of Wu Tang, the blood related members of ODB should have been there to uh, to be on the correctional officers
Yeah,
to not assault him
I agree.
and to tell the warden or notify the warden that we're going to put pressure on you to protect ODB. Don't
Facts.
give him any medicine that's going to make him worse.
Facts.
I just felt like they left him for dead. So and then once he got out, RZA would not let him out of his production deal
Right.
with Wu Tang.
But
And
I think he was reluctant to sign with Rockefeller only because Wu wasn't there for him.
yeah, like when he was described when ODB was describing, he was fighting 10 inmates at a time,
Yeah.
and the guards were always harassing him and physically assaulting him.
Uh,
Like if you feel like the Wu Tang Clan abandoned you, they weren't there to visit you to see your physical condition, and the first time you hear about that is on a TV show.
right.
No wonder he signed to Rockefeller.
And in Pac's case too, like Suge Knight was looking to make money, but Suge Knight bailed Pac out of jail, and I felt like Pac was like, "Fuck it, let me go reluctantly. Let me go to Death Row." I don't know if Pac would have really wanted to join Death Row. I think because of him, he got bail. It's like he made a deal with the devil. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? And he was angrier than ever after he came out of jail. You know what I'm saying? And but he gave us some classic music. But I felt like even with Pac's situation, he was reluctant to sign with Death Row.
yeah, yeah. I was. There's also a separate interview where Divine he said that the most crookedest thing he ever seen in business was Dame Dash signing Rockefeller.
Right.
Like all Dame did was do what any entrepreneur would do. Like
Facts.
he signed somebody that he felt could make a lot more money than he invested.
Right.
And and Divine, he's a shrewd businessman, but
Yeah.
it ain't like you did everything that you could to prevent that from happening. And then
Exactly.
there's a scene in the studio where RZA is writing a song for Dirty,
Right.
and you can tell that Dirty is still harboring resentment
Yep.
towards RZA, and RZA. It felt like RZA was totally oblivious to how Dirty
Yeah.
felt.
Yeah. I
Like
agree.
just because I'm gonna let you produce some songs on this album, it doesn't mean that it's ever going to be the same again.
I agree. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? And it's a shame, but it's like that was the bullshit that was going on with Rockefeller, and you know the I will say this, like what Freaky said, I agree with him because they when they were there, they were all about grinding in the business, and they were the biggest thing on Rockefeller. It wasn't Jay, it wasn't State Property, it was Dipset. And Cam was like, yo, I'm not gonna get caught up in another debt where I gotta pay $1 million. And he's like, yo, I'm gonna make that money back and put his people on, and that's what he did. And
Hmm.
and and to his credit, Jim's success is because of Cam. Because if Cam, let's say Cam had went to Rockefeller and Come Home With Me was a dud, and Purple Haze wasn't good, that would have been a bad investment by Dame. That we could have literally went back to that and be like, yo, this is when Rockefeller broke up because when Dame signed Dipson and Jane with them, they didn't do shit for on it, but it worked in their favor. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was the biggest movement on Rockefeller was them. You know what I'm saying? And they were serious. And Cam became a different person after signing to Rockefeller. You know what I'm saying? He was more driven. You know, just being on Epic Records and not having that marketing team, you know, come from the hood and even understand how to promote him. And once he went to Rockefeller, it's like, yo, they did their thing. You know what I'm saying? My thing is like, why are we hearing about this now? Like, this is like the shit that Freaky was saying of like how when they tried to get Jay to do Oh Boy, and then when they heard the verse, it was whack. I'm like, yo, did y'all forget that Jay and Cam made up? So y'all want them to start beefing again over what you saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't know if he realized that. I'm like they Cam and Jay squashed their beef, but you going on a platform and saying, oh, we thought Jay's verse was whack for Oh Boy. Why are you saying that shit now? You know what I'm saying? It's like I don't get it. I just feel like this is like all in the past. Like we don't need to hear about this. We know about this shit already. We know about the beat stealing. You know, they H to the Izzo was for Cam. Jay took it for Blueprint. Oh Boy was for Jay, and Cam took it for himself. We know about all that already.
They kind of remind me of those old dudes in front of a liquor store that's
Yeah,
telling the same stories
the
over and
same
over
shit.
again about their glory days.
I don't get it. I'm like, come on, man.
To me, that the fact that you're rehashing these things,
Right.
it says that you have nothing else going on in your life.
Right. Not the thing. Like I don't. The thing I didn't know about was Cam being $1 million in debt or whatever. I didn't know about that, and that he, that's the reason why they were going to and from Baltimore to get work, and then he funded the mixtapes and all of the Jewel projects and Dipson and all that. That part I didn't know. But other than that, that's where it should stop. It shouldn't be, oh well, Jay was in his feelings and we heard the verse for Oh Boy and we thought it was whack. Like because that could drum up new feelings from the past when it comes to Jay and Cam. And I don't think Cam wants to be in another. He already beefing with Jim again. I don't think he wants to be beefing with Jay again over past shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But they did their thing. It was a movement. Leave it in the past. If it's real beef with Cam and Jim, then just end Dipset and y'all just go your separate way. I don't want to hear about it because it's like we already been down this road already, and it's like it's boring to me.
like companies do it all the time.
Right.
Like they decide that they no longer want to be
Exactly.
business partners. They draft contracts to dissolve the company,
Right.
and whatever profits come from the sale of the company, they distribute it, amongst the partners,
Right.
and then they
Exactly.
go their
Like
separate ways.
this shit remind me of like Triple H and Shawn Michaels. Like the Shawn Michaels and Triple H was beefing for years, and they still best friends. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So they were in the same crew together. So it's like we already been down this road already. I really want to talk about this LeBron thing because it's like, yo, this is like the hottest shit right now. The hottest topic right now in the NBA is like, yo, LeBron flexing his star power against the richest analyst on ESPN right now, and I feel like LeBron was wrong, and I think the people that's for LeBron are like the ones that they either can't stand Stephen A. or they're letting their parental feelings get involved in it. I'm just looking at it from a fan perspective. I'm like, I think LeBron was wrong. I think if you're gonna talk to Stephen A. about it, why not do it behind closed doors? Why do it in front of a nationally televised game? You know what I'm
But
saying? Because it's like he did that because he wanted people to talk about it. He wanted people to see him. That's why he did that during the game. Because if he really wanted to talk to him, he could have did that after the game. or before the game even started, where in the locker room or something. Now they people saying that, oh well, he tried to do that and Stephen A. Didn't want to talk to him or some shit. So I guess that was like his only, if that shit is true, I guess that was like his only other option. Like, oh, well, I'm gonna approach him during the game. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, I agree with Stephen A. because LeBron caused this shit, and we said this even last summer when Bronny went into the draft. He caused this shit on his own because LeBron for years been saying the last things I want to do before I retire is play with my son. That's what he said. He said that in interviews. Like the last thing he wanted to do before he retired was playing the game with his son. So, whose dream was it to play alongside your son? Was it your dream or was it Bronny's dream? You know what I'm saying? Because for all we know, Bronny's dream was to just get to the NBA, to just get your name called by a team and make it, and that happened. So his dream is already fulfilled. My thing is because of the heart situation with Bronny, he wasn't going to be a top pick, and he got drafted 55. That's low. The lower you get in the draft, you get it's you don't get a guaranteed contract, and he don't need the money anyway. His family's rich, but they kept talking about him like he was the number one pick. I'm like, y'all know he's getting drafted later because he never finished the season at USC because of his heart condition. You know what I'm saying? That is why I felt like he should have did another year or two at USC because if he had did that and he had polished his skills, he would have been a top pick. But you coming out your rookie year and you had a heart condition and you didn't even finish the season, he wasn't gonna be number one or two. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? And LeBron orchestrated that whole situation because he was a free agent. He could have easily signed with the Lakers again. He said, "No, what y'all gonna do is y'all gonna draft my son, and then you can sign me back." And he had said if it wasn't the Lakers, if any team had signed Bronny, he was gonna go play with them. So if it was a shitty team like the Pelicans, he was going to New Orleans to play with the Pelicans, him and Zion. And he probably could help Zion in this situation because he liked to eat. And I think LeBron would have helped Zion out. Like, yo, stay, get away from the gumbo and the beignets and get in this weight room with me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But they would have been. They, I don't know. With LeBron and a healthy Zion, how far could they have went in the West?
But see, with Zion, it has to be self discipline
Right,
because Zion he can work out in front of LeBron, for hours. But
right.
if
He
you're sneak eating and you're
he's not because we've seen this before with him. Where I think was it last year he was slimmed down and then he went right back up. He hasn't been disciplined with his weight.
yeah, and Zion he's been in the league long enough that your your physical conditioning determines how
Right,
well you're going to play in games. Like when you're out of breath, that means that your coach has to take you out of the game and have somebody sub for you because you're winded. That affects your rotation, that affects your minutes. And LeBron would not have been happy. Like LeBron, he may not have went for Kobe, but he definitely would have made his feelings known to Zion uh, on and away from the cameras.
all Zion had to do was look at the situation with Luca because the fact that the Mavericks didn't supermax Luca because of his conditioning should tell you everything you need to know. Some of these owners are not going to pay you $340 million, and they feel like you're not in shape.
Exactly. And
And Luca took the Mavericks to the finals, and they still was like, we trading that nigga. We don't feel like he's in great conditioning, and we're gonna find somebody. We're gonna keep Kyrie, and they kept crazy ass Kyrie over Luca. That's crazy.
but I think the difference between Luca and Zion is that Luca, he's far more competitive. He has more fire in his belly, no pun intended, than Zion.
I
Like
think I think
Zion
I
just
think
seems very laissez-faire.
when healthy Zion, I think Zion had a triple double last night, if I'm not mistaken. When healthy Zion plays ass off, but it's the weight that he can't keep under control. That's the thing. It's the weight. It's not even. I don't even think it's his fire. It's like he got the fire, but his weight is become the issue. It's like, and why would they give you a supermax deal if they feel like your weight is the problem? He goes up and down with his weight like Luther Vandross did.
Because with NBA contracts, they if I'm sure that the Pelicans they put in clauses to make sure that he is at such and such a weight, that his body fat percentage is at this number. When you get to the point where a team's got to put in clauses,
Yeah,
then that lets me know that your laissez-faire and your attitude about your professionalism, that you don't have it in you to discipline yourself, and you're
he,
comfortable with just making money and not giving full effort night after night. He get like the game you mentioned last night
yeah,
where he nearly went for a triple double.
yeah,
That's like a one off. But can you do that for
yeah.
five
I
to
I,
six
I
games?
believe he has that potential to do that on a nightly basis. But the thing is, I thought a lot of these athletes have their own nutritionist. You don't have a nutritionist at home with them.
I mean, if he does,
If he does, he ignore it.
money. If he does, it's a waste of money.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Because I always see like a lot of these athletes at home with their nutritionists, and they have like a itinerary on what they can eat and what they can't eat or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
even actors, they have actors that what's the name? Hugh Jackman that has like a regimen or whatever. Because you got to play Wolverine. Wolverine gotta be in top shape for that role. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So when I look at Zion, I'm like, he have the potential to average a triple double every night, but his weight is the issue, and I think he don't want to be there. I don't think he wants to be in New Orleans. I think he wants to be on a competitor. I think he wants to be in a big city like New York. But if he ever came to the Knicks, you definitely got to be in top shape because the media and the fans will let you hear it.
But not only that, though, the same temptations that are in New Orleans are going to be in New York.
Right. Exactly. And even worse here because it's like there's a pizzeria on every damn block.
That
You know what I'm
is
saying?
so
The
true.
pizzeria is like a liquor store on every block in New York. There's a pizzeria on every block.
Yeah, like
There's a bodega on every block. So if you want like a bacon egg and cheese or what they call that shit, the chopped cheese, he could get it.
he'll be like Dave Blunt's size if you ever went to New York.
Yeah. I really think he don't want to be there. I think that's the real reason why he ain't keep himself in shape. He don't want to be in New Orleans. But if that's the case, then you need to go to the front office and be like, yo, I want to trade. I want out.
Or
Don't eat yourself to like 400 pounds.
or or you can actually get in shape and increase your value by playing better.
Right,
Like play to your potential
right,
so that teams do start to become interested in the Pelicans are starting to field offers.
right.
Like that's the way that you get out.
Exactly. But the thing with LeBron is he I think people are unfairly on his side. I think this is where he's flexing his muscle and his star power and being the face of the league and bullying Stephen A into, oh well, you can't talk about my son. You can't mention my son. Stephen A has $100 million contract with ESPN. And from what he's saying when he was on the Gilbert Arenas podcast, the ESPN executives went to him and said, "Yo, you got to talk about this," because he said he wasn't going to talk about it because he kept hearing about it on the internet. He wasn't going to talk about it. ESPN went to him and be like, "Yo, you got to address this," because he is the highest paid analyst. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So what is it? So no sports writer is supposed to mention Bronny because LeBron got an issue with that. Fuck that. You created this mess because you wanted to play with your son. That was your dream, and you wanted the Lakers to draft him, but they didn't have to. So now that he's not playing, and they sent him to the G League or whatever, is that Stephen A's fault? Is that our fault as the fans if we feel like Bronny sucks? So what is he gonna do? He's gonna go after every fan on the internet and at the games because they think Bronny is not ready yet. That's his fault.
I don't look at Stephen A. as getting bullied because Stephen A. Smith is quick to tell you that he's in the streets, that he don't give a damn what anybody says about his opinions. He's going to say what he's going to say and to pull up on him.
Right.
Well, LeBron did just that. He actually confronted Stephen A. standing courtside.
Yeah. And Stephen A didn't run. He stood right there. He didn't duck him.
But the thing is, though, on that Gilbert Arenas podcast,
Mhm.
he's talking really heavy when he was in front of LeBron. He was just
But
saying,
he said LeBron wasn't trying to hear what he had to say. That he wasn't talking about Bron. He was talking about LeBron is at fault for this whole shit. And we were saying that even before it happened. We said this months ago. I'm like, yo, watch what happens. They're gonna draft Bronny, and Bronny gonna sit on the bench. And what is going on now? They have not played Bronny. He's not started.
but I guess my thing is, where's that fire from Stephen A. Smith? Because like when he's on first take, he is foaming at the mouth. He's like he's like a fire dragon that is he's so absolute in what he's saying, and then when he was in front of LeBron, he was docile.
Yeah, but Bron, he's saying that Bron said what he had to say and he walked off. So what is he supposed to do? He's supposed to grab LeBron by his arm and be like, "Yo, I got shit to say to you."
It seemed like LeBron. It seemed like LeBron was just unloading and just got everything he wanted to say to
Right.
Stephen
But
A. off his
but
chest.
but my thing is this: LeBron is the reason that Bronny's on the bench. You cannot blame Stephen A for that. That's not Stephen A's fault. Him as the parent, he's the one that wanted this to happen. He orchestrated this shit to go down.
I mean, I agree. I guess where I'm at is that I do like that Stephen A. Smith got dressed down because like I'm one of those people that I don't like what Stephen A. Smith has devolved into.
But what
So
what
for
is he
me,
what is I'm trying to understand what has what is the hate for Stephen A? Because I see a sports writer that's been covering the game for years, and he also used to play ball. That he's speaking from the heart. He's speaking his opinion on the situation. And I get, is it the money? Is it because he got the $100 million contract from ESPN? What is exactly is the hate? Because I'm not seeing him when he's giving facts on shit.
no. I'm talking less about Stephen A. Smith as a
Uh,
sports journalist
uh,
and more of Stephen A. Smith as a political pundit. Like the way like he rubs shoulders with Sean Hannity and
uh,
Tucker Carlson and all of these right wing conservatives. Like I he spouts nothing but misinformation. So for me, I I agree that Stephen A. Smith as a journalist and a sports commentator, he has to make his observations about Bronny James um, and give his analysis of Bronny and LeBron and I do believe that Stephen A. Smith was talking to LeBron about LeBron, but I do find it satisfactory that Stephen A. Smith felt it felt like he was getting dressed down, like it felt like he was karma to me.
Right,
You know what I mean? So
right.
that's just me not liking Stephen A. Smith as someone that's trying to get into politics.
That the thing is, if Stephen A. gets paid to give his analysis on shit, and if it comes to the point where his analysis is Bronny James, what is he supposed to say? No comment because LeBron will get in his feelings. That's not why he gets paid $100 million. They paid him $100 million so that they love his commentary and they want more of it because people watch him. So if he can't talk about it, who can talk about it? No, because if they're looking at him like, yo, you the highest paid analyst on ESPN, and if you don't talk about it, then that means what the a regular beat writer for a newspaper is not gonna be able to talk about it because LeBron gonna be in his feelings.
I mean,
It's
LeBron
almost
is the
like
only.
the Drake effect when Drake was going around suing motherfuckers because he didn't want Kendrick performing not like us. So you're pulling a Drake right now. That's what you're telling us.
I will say, at least with LeBron, he did pull up. Whereas with Kevin Durant will use burner accounts. He'll be really
That is
passive
stupid too,
aggressive.
because and this is right after he won the title with Golden State, and you on social media cursing people out for what? You got a ring and you got the MVP, and you worried about what people think? That makes no damn sense to me. And again, it shows how this is the social media side of things. It shows how people are fucking soft when it comes to social media and what people got to say. Because this happened to me with Dwight Howard when there was a hip hop page I was following. I forgot the name of that shit. Back in like 2016, and Dwight Howard was a free agent that summer, and I didn't know he was following the hip hop page. I don't go around and look on these pages and see who's following this shit. He was following, and the page made a post about Dwight Howard, and they were like, "Is he over the hill? Is he done?" And I'm like, he ain't been a MVP caliber big man since when he was in Orlando. When he went to the Lakers, Kobe made an ass out of him. Kobe was like, "Yo, like he was like, yo, like you playing soft." Like he took his manhood, you know what I'm saying? And Dwight thought what I had to say and he didn't like it. And he was like shaking my head. And I hit him up. And I'm like, yo, what am I saying that you shaking your head about? We all know that shit was true. When you joined the Lakers and Kobe didn't like how you was playing and he called you soft. And he was like, man, y'all just don't know. And I'm like, yo, why don't you join Golden State? Join a team. I think he had signed with Charlotte that year or whatever. Well, he signed with the Wizards of Charlotte or some shit. And I'm like, yo, why don't you join a team with join Golden State? Cause they, you know what I'm saying? You can win a ring with them. He was like, nah, I don't want to join them and it seemed like I'm ring chasing. I'm like, but you do want a ring, right? Why else would you go to Lakers? You joined the Lakers to get a ring. Kevin Durant did it, and he had two rings because of Golden State.
Well, you see how it worked out for Gary Payton and
Right, exactly. So and
Carmelo.
instead that fool signed with the Wizards and he didn't play. I think he got injured that year, and then he signed with Charlotte, and I think like he had like a bounce back year, but Charlotte is nowhere near ready to win a championship. Even with Lamelo, they're gonna find it out once Lamelo say, "Yo, I want to trade out of here." They're nowhere near ready for a championship. You know what I'm saying? So this
Yeah,
this is the downside of social media when these motherfuckers got rabbit ears and they're sensitive about what people say about them. You just won a championship with Golden State. You worried about what people got to say about you on the internet? Make it make
I
sense.
yeah, I was thinking, like, I was talking to an older guy, and he was saying how back in the day, when at night, like after midnight, the TV would go off,
Right.
the American flag would be showing,
Yeah, that
and
was a thing back in the
maybe,
day.
yeah, like like maybe LeBron, Kevin Durant, um, maybe players of this generation, maybe they would have been more comfortable playing back then when there was less
Exactly.
TV channels
Because
and there was less news.
exactly because you remember in 2010 when LeBron had the announcement and he said he was going to Miami, and that whole summer people was talking the most shit to him, and he was like, "Oh, I'm making I got a chalkboard with I'm gonna remember what everybody had to say." So that was his fuel to win those two championships with Dwayne Wade in Miami. But you was ring chasing. We know that you was ring chasing. You went to Miami. You went back to Cleveland because you like he had unfinished business in Cleveland. You got first of
And,
all
and
that
don't forget he promised not one, not two, not three, but seven
right
championships for
in
Miami.
Miami, and he didn't stay because he had that riff with Pat Riley. Pat Riley run his own way in Miami, which is why Jimmy Butler's not there because Jimmy Butler didn't like what was going on with Pat Riley, and they didn't give him the extension. That's why he wanted out. You know what I'm
And
saying?
Pat Riley, he ran a tight ship. Like he
Right,
wasn't going to cut LeBron James any slack
exactly.
and give him
Pat,
free
Pat
reign
Riley
to
don't give a
make.
fuck. He had championships with Magic Johnson. He don't give a fuck about what LeBron thinks. You know what I'm saying? And
Exactly.
and and LeBron wanted the power out there, and he didn't get it. That's why he left. He went back to Cleveland, and you got that ring. You only got that ring. Let's be real. You only got that ring because they suspended Draymond. Because if Draymond was suspended, the Golden State would have won another ring.
Yeah, yeah, and that was the season when Golden State had that 73-9 record. Had they won,
Exactly.
they would have completed the
Exactly. They
last.
suspended Draymond for that little incident he had on court. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Yeah,
how
when he
Cleveland
stepped
was
over
able to win.
LeBron at half court.
Right. Right. That's how they got their ring. He got his ring, and what did he do? Oh, I'm not gonna stay in Cleveland. Let me go to LA. I want to go to the Lakers.
But and also, if you remember, LeBron was bullying Steph Curry
Right,
in the block because Draymond Green wasn't there.
right.
And you got seven. Like how tall is LeBron?
Well, he could play point forward. He like what 6'7", 6'8".
Yeah, but you got Steph Curry that's like
Right,
6'1".
right, right. And the thing with Kyrie, I think Kyrie had left first, right? He went to Boston or whatever. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
that
saying?
yeah that I remember because he went on first take and
Right.
he was he was trolling the hell out of
Yeah.
Max Kellerman and Stephen A.
Right. And that
Because
that didn't work
the
out in
word was
Boston.
that he wasn't getting along
Right.
with LeBron and he didn't tell LeBron he planned on leaving
Right.
and he wanted to be his own man.
That didn't work out in Boston. And then
And
Kyrie went to Brooklyn and fuck they team up with him and Durant. But he's jumped
Boston
ship.
was better without
He was
Kyrie
better, right?
anyway.
They were better without him. He's jumped ship for every team. He has not stayed on the team for a long time, except for Cleveland when he first came into the league. He jumped ship for a ring, and everybody did it after him. He started this whole super team ring chasing shit. This is LeBron that started this shit too. KD jumping ship from OKC to go to Golden State, win two rings, and then he goes to Brooklyn and he fucked that team up in Brooklyn,
Same
and then
thing
he
with
goes to
James
Phoenix.
Harden.
Fuck that team up in Phoenix. Now they talking about trading him this summer.
Same thing with James Harden.
Harden too, another ring chaser. He hasn't gotten to the damn finals yet.
Like 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 whenever you see James Harden, in the tunnel with his jewelry on,
Right.
with his outfit on, he's thinking about going to the club.
The thing with this is he didn't just confront anybody. He confronted a writer and a analyst that's the highest paid on ESPN, and he's black, and he did it in front of everybody. So this is not like some regular Joe that was writing for the New York Times or something. He confronted Stephen A. Stephen A. has as much power as LeBron. This is what people don't understand.
I would say even more power than LeBron because with the power of the fourth estate, Stephen A. Smith, he has the latitude to talk about LeBron James in any way that he sees fit. And Stephen A. He can retaliate. He could say things about LeBron that LeBron wouldn't want getting out.
The thing we've been saying, Bronny needs to. They had Bronny in the G League for a couple games and he played well. Why did they bring him back up? LeBron. I guarantee you, LeBron made that call because he wanted him close to him. What would be the point to do that? To do what? He's not in the games. So him being on the bench and day after night and watching his father play, and he can't get in the damn games with them. What would be the point? Let him go to the G League.
Well, gets either Bronny becomes a better player or LeBron is going to have to play for another 10 years,
He can't.
to
He
keep Bronny
can't.
on the team.
He can't. Listen, you already have a coach. That's why they hired JJ Redick. You can't be coach and and dad at the same time.
But JJ Redick is more of a figurehead than a coach.
Who's really calling the shots on the Lakers? Is it LeBron or JJ Redick?
For me, it's LeBron.
And that is the problem. It's almost like when you see what's his name, Jerry Jones.
Hmm.
The owner of the Dallas Cowboys. He has become bigger than his own team. This is why they're not winning because he can't just lay back and be an owner. He wants to be involved in everything. There's a reason why you have a coach. There's a reason why you have a GM. You know what I'm saying? He has to lay back and be the owner and let the GM do his thing and let the coach do his thing. And until that happens, the Cowboys they're always gonna lose. The
But you
same, the
know,
same, the same for the Lakers. Like the Lakers, like if Phil Jackson was there, he would not be doing that shit right now. I
but you know the
guarantee
pro-
you, there would be a rift between LeBron and Phil Jackson.
but the problem is Jimmy Bus is very close to LeBron, so Jimmy Bus isn't going to empower JJ Redick to have
Then,
more
then, then
authority
why,
over his
then why,
team.
then why have a press conference and make it a spectacle about who you hiring as coach? Because at this point, it don't matter, right? LeBron calling the shots. If they had a powerful coach there like a Pat Riley or a Phil Jackson, LeBron would not be calling the shots there. Think about the team that Phil Jackson had. He had both Kobe and Shaq. Won championships with them. He had Jordan. Had won championships six championships with him.
If Pat Riley was there, LeBron wouldn't be there. He would have went to another team. Like
That
LeBron,
but that is the it. But see, this is the thing. When LeBron retired, this shit is gonna come up because they're gonna look at him like, yo, this dude was doing too much, and y'all let him get away with being the coach and being the star player and the face of the franchise is one thing. But if he calling the shots as a coach, that's a whole nother issue. This is why he felt compelled to approach Stephen A on the court when he did because he knew people was going to see it and talk about it.
and also I would think I don't know if in any other scenario he would have been fined by the NBA for conduct detrimental to the team.
I
Because
think David Stern would have did it. I don't know about Adam Silver is real buddy buddy with these players now. It's a different commissioner compared to when David Stern was there.
well, that's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? I think David Stern would have did that. But the thing is, it's like when he retires, is he still the face of the NBA? Because I think he's a defleeting face of the NBA now. I think when you got Anthony Edwards and and Wembanyama and Shea Gillis. I think those are the new faces of the NBA.
But the thing is, as good as those players are, they don't drive narratives like LeBron does.
Yeah, but he's not gonna play forever. So when he retires, who is the face of the league? Who is the face?
Well,
There's gonna be a new
it,
face. Who is the? Is it Zion? Is it Luca? Is it Brunson? Is it
I
is it all of them? Like who will be the face for this next generation of NBA players? LeBron ain't gonna be here forever.
I would say Wimbiana, but I think Victor Wimbiana, he's gonna number one, he's gonna bulk up. He's gonna put on muscle, and Wimbiana has to win. I think
But
like Giannis, I think because of his accent and where he plays, he's going to be overlooked.
bro, the Lakers might be the hottest team right now. Them and OKC in the West. You have Bronny James on the bench, and y'all don't play him. So what is the purpose of him being on the bench? Is it because LeBron wants him there on the bench, or is because y'all feel like you could really use him? Because they haven't. I think there might have been 2 games where I saw Bronny play, and that was like early in the season. They ain't a playoff race right now. If y'all are not gonna use him, put him in the G League.
What seed are they in the West?
I want to say they in what the top 5 or 6. I want to say they
Okay,
might be in fifth or sixth. I want to say, but it's like what is the purpose for him to be on the bench? If y'all are not gonna play him and he's just there because of LeBron, what does that tell you? That tells you the power of LeBron. That they're will or they second, third seed. Okay, so they moved up. Okay, so right now they in home court. They have home court advantage because the top 4 teams have home court in the playoffs. So they in a good standing for home court in the playoffs. But my thing is, if he's only on the bench because LeBron want him there, what does that tell you about LeBron? That is nepotism at his finest.
yeah,
Sean said
it
he's a Laker
says
fan. He don't like LeBron. I've heard people say that too. Like especially when he got there, a lot of fans. It was too early because Kobe had just passed away. A lot of fans are not like they didn't want him to LeBron.
it says that LeBron knows his worth to the Lakers, and he's welding his power wherever he can flex it.
Kenyon
So
Martin. Kenyon Martin even said it. Kenyon Martin was like, "Yo, he was more nervous for KJ on his draft day than KJ was." You think Kenyon Martin, if he was playing right now, that he could orchestrate some shit like that? He couldn't. LeBron is the only one possibly in the NBA. Maybe Steph Curry, I would say too. I don't know, but Steph is not like that. But LeBron is the only one that has orchestrated some shit like that, where his son is on the bench and he's not playing, not 1 minute. That is the power of LeBron. And you mean and
I
these
mean,
fools,
unless we get garbage time,
but garbage time don't mean shit because you're not able to help the team. If the team already won, garbage time don't mean a damn thing. If the team lost by 20, garbage time don't mean shit.
I mean that's
You,
the only time he's gonna get
you
playing
know what I'm
time.
saying? Again, but again, this is the power of LeBron. If your son is only on the bench because he wanted him there, that is a sign of I don't understand how people can sit up there and defend what he did.
I
Because he's
mean,
hurting. You're hurting your the potential of your son. You're not making it any better by you playing and he's not even playing alongside with you. He
you know
watching
what?
you.
You know what this is reminiscent of?
What?
LeVar Ball. Like the
Look,
way, like the way he was constantly in the press, constantly forcing his name and his physical presence in the media.
I think
Like,
even though Steph is not like that, I think Steph do have that power. He brought 4 championships to Golden State. I think if Steph really wanted to, and he had like a older son that was playing, I think he could pull some shit like that off. I don't think he would ever do it though, because Steph is more likable than LeBron. You know what I'm saying? Like we know LeBron's greatness, but the way that you went about the greatness is there's an asterisk next to your name because you was jumping ship, you was ring chasing, and you started a whole culture where you all these teams were like making super teams to try to get a ring. He started that shit. Before then, that none of that shit was going on. When you had the Lakers in the '80s, you look at the Lakers in the '80s with Magic and Kareem and James and Byron Scott and Kurt Rambis. That was just an all around great team. They wasn't doing those super teams like that. They had the natural super team. It was natural. You
but
know what I'm saying?
also, if you look at the contracts back then, they didn't make as much money in
Exactly.
the '80s as they do now.
Exactly. You see all these super teams that they tried to do and it didn't work. You had James Harden with Chris Paul, that didn't work. You had Kevin Durant and Kyrie, that didn't work. The Clippers teams, yo, the Clippers need to get rid of all the motherfuckers. Get rid of all of them.
I mean, what are they going to do with Kawhi Leonard? He's been
He got to
injured
retire.
all
I don't
season.
I don't think Kawhi will ever be fully healthy again. I think once he had that bad knee injury, that was it. He will never be fully healthy again where he can play 82 games scheduled.
Yo, if Kawhi,
But the NBA allowing it now with LeBron. Look at that you. They ain't even Adam Silver ain't even say nothing about that confrontation last week. They allowing LeBron to orchestrate a draft pick through the Lakers because and draft his son. They allowed that shit.
but also look at his equity within the NBA, like his business partners, with Rich Paul, with his uh, what's the name of that agency they had?
Clutch,
With he, yeah,
clutch
Flat,
sports.
yeah, Clutch Sports.
Yeah.
Like they have created so many business portfolios within the NBA with Clutch Sports and management. They got the shop. Like he's like just the advertising dollars that LeBron brings to the NBA, it damn near dictate that they have to slap him on the wrist, even for things that any other player would have been suspended for.
That Stephen A is saying the reason why he didn't go back and forth with LeBron was because of Disney, because ESPN is a part of Disney. And it would like if they were going back and forth and Disney see that, it would be a bad look on his part. You know what I'm saying? And I agree to an extent, but at the same time, if you're getting paid $100 million to give your commentary on shit, even if it means talking about Bronny sitting on the bench and not getting no playing time, you got to say what's on your mind. And
But
and I don't give a damn what LeBron think about it.
but I don't understand though, because remember a couple years ago when Shannon Sharp was going at it
Right,
with that Memphis Grizzlies player?
right.
Shannon Sharp didn't he got a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, but he ain't getting paid $100 million though from ESPN. Yeah, and more people know Shannon Sharp for Club Shay Shay than him being on ESPN.
Okay, I could
You know
say
what I'm
that.
saying? But my thing is like imagine if I'm signed to Complex magazine and they tell me, yo, we want you to do a review on the new Drake and Party Next Door album. And if I'm telling you I heard the album and the album whack, you want me to lie and say, oh, I think this is one of the best albums so far of 2025 because it's Drake? Fuck that. I'm gonna tell you my honest opinion. And I do that now, and I'm like, I don't get paid for this shit. Like, if I think an album was whack, I'm saying it. I don't care who it is. We did a review on Smith and Wesson's new album, and it's okay. I don't like it more than the All. I think the All was the better album. I think the new album sounds like some hip hop soul. I don't want to hear R&B Smith and Wesson. You know what I'm saying?
I'll even take
And
it a step further with that example.
oh,
To me, the best Smith and Wesson album was 14 years ago.
right. Which one was
With
that?
from the same producer that made Auditorium Volume One with Common.
Oh yes, the Monumental was great.
Monumental.
I love Monumental. That was a great album. You know what I'm saying? But if
Hmm.
if I if I do a review on a album and they happen to see it and they don't like it, what the hell you want me to do? So I gotta bite my tongue because Smith and Wesson don't like what I had to say. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? And
Well, that would be, see, like that would be like the equivalent of a retired with Smith and Wesson. That would be like the NBA counterpart would be like a retired NBA player that is like 20 years removed from their prime. You know what I mean?
right.
It would hit the same. Now with Drake, Drake would be like LeBron for popularity and also just for being so um what's the word I'm looking for? But they had no problem
But what was
saying
LeBron? What was LeBron gonna? Because the way that LeBron rolled up on him, it looked like he was gonna hit him. And I'm like, LeBron, you LeBron, you really want to go to jail over some words over a sports writer?
I mean, well, to me, I thought it was a little bit. Uh, I think more was made of it than it really appeared because number one, LeBron James, he's so physically imposing
Hmm.
that him standing in front of Stephen A. Smith looked like he was about to deck
Right,
Stephen A. Smith or put him in a
right.
yoke. I
And
think,
if I'm not mistaken, I thought I saw AD there with him too.
yeah, yeah. But you know what though? I think if you just look at Stephen A. Smith, you would I would expect Stephen A. Smith to be a little bit more demonstrative, a little bit more animated. Like that, like you don't gotta match LeBron's energy, but you certainly didn't have to sit and just take
I,
what LeBron was
but
just saying.
he's saying I do I the thing about Disney is watching. I do agree with that because you're not trying to fuck up your bag over LeBron. LeBron already got his bag. You know what I'm saying? My thing is this. Again, Stephen A gets paid big bucks to give his commentary and opinions on shit. And if LeBron can't handle that, that's on LeBron. Because so now what? You're gonna bully everybody that's a beat writer and it has a podcast and make sure that, oh, well, you can't talk about Bronny? Fuck all that.
But
Bronny is grown. He's not a teenager. The NBA
but
is a grown man sport. If he can't cut it, then he needs to be in the G League.
it cuts both ways because how many times have we seen Stephen A. Smith fly off the handle for players being critical of what they say about him? I mean, we've seen Stephen A. Smith get sensitive. Like I could think of the Terrell Owens episode of First Take where Stephen A. Smith damn near had a coronary over what Terrell Owens said. So if Steve, so to me, I think what's good for the what's good for the geese is good for the gander.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right.
if Stephen A. Smith, if he certainly can get in certain tips with athletes over small slights, then players can
Yeah,
do the
but
same thing with him.
but it is the is are they getting in beef with him because what he's saying is true and they don't want the media to know about that? Or is it something else?
I think it's all of those things.
So you think So okay, so you have $100 million sports writer that's speaking his mind as usual. He was doing this before he got the damn contract. Now that he got the contract, people in their feelings because they feel like he's gonna say any old thing, or they do they feel like he's gotten too big. Well, I mean, people watch him because they like his commentary. You're not gonna watch him if you don't like him. Like I'm not gonna watch a podcast if I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? It's
Well,
like
not everybody likes him. I mean, I think there are people that respect Stephen A. Smith, but they don't like what
so,
he
but
represents
you
in the
you respect
industry.
them, but why do you respect them? You respect them in what aspect though?
You may respect how he got to where he's at, coming
Uh,
from a sports journalist background, a
right.
beat writer, later on a sports commentator, then the head, the Don Dada of ESPN. But they may not, but I've seen a lot of people, be critical of what Stephen A. Smith
I
represents in
I saw
sports
this type
media.
of hate. I saw this type of hate for Skip Bayless, and he's white.
And to me, they're like two birds of a feather that
Yeah,
flock together.
yeah, but a lot of shit that Skip said, I agreed with. I didn't look at it like, oh, well, he's white and you know what he's talking about. Yo, he was talking shit about the Denver Broncos, who I think that's his team or whatever, and he was right about that.
Now, I mean, the only I think if Skip Bayless was at that game and Skip Bayless was more relevant, I think LeBron would have pulled up on him too.
Again, it's like it's rabbit ears. It's like yo, like there was a time when they would play the game, and you still had journalists out there that would write up shit or whatever. But at the end of the day, they didn't run up on the damn journalists. And I feel like in today's media, based on what you say on your podcast or your show, it's like everybody got an issue. The people that they talking about got an issue with it. Well, they just got to have that issue because it's like you have to do your job at the end of the day, just like LeBron got to do his job. And his job, you don't get paid for running up on a journalist because he said shit about your son that you didn't like. So what? So LeBron is because my whole thing is like this: if you do this to Stephen A, then do that shit to everybody, every other journalist that mentioned Bronny. Don't just look at Stephen A like, oh well, that's the big paying journalist on ESPN. Let me run up on him so everybody can see. Because you can do that to him, then do that to the small town journalist that's writing for the town newspaper. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna go
I
around
mean,
the world. You're not gonna go around the country and do that to every sports journalist that got some shit to say about Bronny.
but did Jay Z always respond to any and everybody that said slick things about him?
Cool.
Jay Z.
No. Because I don't think honestly Jay-Z give a fuck. I don't think he care. And me, I've been critical of Jay-Z discography forever. It's never been no hometown you know what's the word I'm looking for? Like favoritism because I've said like yeah, Jay-Z is a legend. He has classic albums, but in his discography he has crap.
I mean, he wouldn't be Jay Z that's pulling up. It might have been Tata.
He has crap. I'm not. Yeah, I've never been hometown, but even for Nas, I love Nas. Nas is my favorite all time. Nas has some shitty albums too. You know what I'm saying? And I think I've seen people like they're surprised that I've said that. I'm like, bro, I love Jay Z, but I'm not going to be biased and be like, oh, all the Jay Z albums are great because I've heard those albums and some of them suck. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm not gonna do that for Mace, I'm damn sure not gonna do that for Jay Z. You know what I'm
You
saying?
mean you
So
mean
my
you mean
thing is
you
like,
wouldn't do that Jay
huh?
Z? I think you meant if I wouldn't do that for Jay Z, I'm damn near not doing it for Mace.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, like some of our greats had some shit. I love Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson to me was the be all end all in music and pop culture. But when Invincible dropped, I did not like Invincible. I thought it was a shitty album. and people love that album. People like, you're crazy. I'm like, yo, I remember hearing Invincible. It was not that good. It was not on the same level that y'all put it on, like Thriller and Bad and Off the Wall. It's not that. And
Now,
and
now,
and this is what I'm saying. It's like, as a whether it's a podcast or a journalist, we have to be. I mean, for me, I can't speak for everybody. If people want to play that game of ass kissing, that's their business. I'm not doing it.
well, I agree with you wholeheartedly. But just as a side note, did you like what? How did you like Invincible compared to the albums that came out in '01?
Those were trash because those are made up shit. Especially that Michael album where they say like it wasn't really his vocals, it was some other guy that was singing his vocals. That shit was trash. You know what I'm saying? But in Invincible, it had some joints. But overall, the album itself, I did not like the album. Did not like the album.
Yeah,
I,
like if you compare it, like, so how does it stack up to an album like what's the Usher album that came out in '01?
8701.
Yeah.
That was great. That's a great Usher album. Great Usher album. That's a classic album, definitely. That was when he
Oh,
was still
okay.
in his prime.
Oh, okay. Oh, then never mind then, because if that Usher album is a classic, then that means you know, uh, Invincible don't stack.
I mean,
It
and
great
I
then.
look. I had an issue with the History album. I didn't think the History album was great either. I thought it was a four mic album. It had some joints and he picked the right singles, but there was some joints on there that I was like, nah, this is skip. This is a skip for me. That song you did was with Shaq. Did not like that song. That Too Bad joint. I didn't think Shaq did. I don't think he needed to do a song with Shaq. You know what I'm saying? And just the beat itself to me was garbage. Like they had some joints on his three album that were skips to me. But it was a decent album. It was decent. It wasn't classic to me, but it went like what, like 6 million or whatever.
I
That
think
was
with
the
that
power. That was the power of Michael Jackson.
I think with the History album, Michael fell in love with those industrial
Yeah,
type beats.
yeah,
And
yeah. And then yeah, that's
he
another
was
thing. Like
going
the
he was
mastering
going
of it, there were tracks where like you could hear the music was louder than him, than his vocals.
I will say that I think that is a time capsule for Michael because
Yeah.
he was going off on the press.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It was like I say like maybe a quarter of that album it was
Yeah.
him talking about how he feels victimized by
Right.
the press, by the writers, by the critics.
Yeah.
He feels misunderstood.
Right.
And he even had a song talking about that sheriff that charged him with,
Dom Snyder. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and rightfully so. Cause I remember when the tabloids, they were having a field day with him. Rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? Like that was his rebuttal to all of them. But that don't mean it was a classic album because he was doing that.
you know what? You made me think of something,
Uh,
man. Like this was like Michael Jackson was going through it,
yeah.
like the press, like what Michael Jackson endured was the equivalent of what Drake thinks he's going through.
Right. Facts.
I just think about that. Like
Uh-huh.
Michael Jackson, he's being accused of the worst, one of the worst things you can do to another human being.
Right.
He's the subject of ridicule, and the album is a reflection of his anger,
Mm-hmm.
of his paranoia, his fear. And you got Drake, by comparison,
Yep.
being passive aggressive,
And
writing
he
these IP captions,
right.
talking about I used to be non-confrontational. Just wait until my next move.
Right.
I mean, like at least with like I would like to think if social media was around during Michael Jackson's lifetime, that Michael would have been he would have put everything in the music and
Right.
just let it and not say anything that would make him look like he's trying to appear like a bigger victim than he actually
Right.
is.
The thing with Michael actually had 2 cases. They tried to get him twice for that, and both times he was acquitted. Drake ain't never been had no trial for this, alleged, you know, I don't know, I don't even want to say child molester, like just pedophile or whatever. He never had no trial. He never been arrested for any of that. So it's like if he go off on a tantrum on his next album and do all that, it's gonna make himself look guilty. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
It's
my
gonna make him
yo,
look guilty because you never been arrested for it. You never had no trial for it. So where's all this coming from? Because Kendrick said it.
if Drake would have like after Not Like Us came out and it became a big hit, if Drake would have just been silent the whole
Exactly.
time and he put out an album
He,
that was the equivalent of history where he's channeling his anger and his frustration with the way that the tide is turning on him,
right,
I think people would have been more receptive.
right. But he didn't do that. He wanted to stay in the public eye, which was a mistake from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like his
Yeah.
publicist should be fired. Like yo, like he should take 2 years off. Make people miss him. You don't. When all this is going on, you don't. Your response is, oh, let me drop an album with Party Next Door. You think people rushing to hear that? Who's rushing to hear that?
Exactly.
You
And,
know what I'm saying? He wants to stay in the public eye and try to act like everything is the same. Nothing was the same, pun intended. Okay, like shit is different. Like the wave has turned to Kendrick's side.
and it would have been a perfect way for him to turn the page. I feel like if this was a book, I feel like this is like the 10th edition of the same damn chapter.
Yeah. But see, Michael was able to overcome that shit. I don't know if Drake is going to overcome that shit. Even now with social media, I think he's done. I really for him to really overcome that, Kendrick would have to do something really fucked up. That's the only way I see Drake coming back from this. I don't think he didn't have it in him to battle him to begin with. That's number one. But the fact that Kendrick went on this run and we're still talking about the Super Bowl performance and we're still talking about this record, I don't think Drake could come back from this. I really don't. That's why I feel like he should have took some years off. You take some years off, make people forget about you, make them miss you, and then you come back. And then we see what is the climate of rap at that time. You don't try to combat it with another album that people don't care about. You know what I'm saying? And you want to stay in the public eye, and then you're on tour talking about, oh, wait till my next album. Y'all gonna really hear some shit. Like what are we gonna hear that's so different from what you dropped already?
And Drake has proven Kendrick right because that Party Next Door album, it proves that Drake's lyrical content is still vapid, it's still mindless, it's still
He,
childish.
and what did I say about Jay? This is the same shit I said about Jay for so many years. I'm like, yo, there has to be a point where your music reflects your life. And Jay did that with 444 because you have 3 kids now with one of the biggest pop stores on the planet. That is where you're at now in your life. You're a billionaire. You're working with the NFL. This is what we want to hear. If you're going to continue to do music, it should be reflective of your life. We don't want to hear about you being in Marcy projects, flipping bricks, because you don't do that no more. That
And
that is that
certainly
is the
you're
issue I
not,
had with Jay-Z for so many years. That's why he was dropping crap. He was
and,
dropping crap during the 2000s. Let's be honest. Like Blueprint 3 was not a great album.
and certainly you can't talk that coke rap better than Pusha T.
He can't. Not at this stage. You can't do no coke rap no more. Leave the coke rap to Pusha and to West Side Gun. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
like like this is and Joe Budden was right. Become like yo, like you know what I'm saying? You have a kid. You have Adonis now, and you might have a second kid for all we know. You know what I'm saying? Like his music should be reflective of where he's at in his life as a father, not still doing songs for young chicks.
and certainly please spare us any more collaboration albums between you
Yeah,
and your wife.
he's not good at it. Like okay, like I was never a fan of Party Next Door. I don't think he can sing, so I was definitely not checking for that album. I'm not a fan of 21 Savage. Definitely don't care for that album. You know the Future album. You know, Future, he's done this thing in Atlanta, and they always bring up Dungeon Family. He sounds nothing like none of them niggas from Dungeon Family. He might have been on the floor at the studio watching them niggas make albums, but he's definitely not cut from the same cloth like as Outkast and Goody Mob.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm like, yeah, like cut back on the collab albums. Like collab albums is not for you. You know what I'm saying? It is not for you. You
He,
know,
and he passed up a great opportunity to do an album with Beans.
right? Who? Drake?
No,
Oh, Jay.
Jay-Z.
No, I'm talking about the Drake collab albums though.
Oh, okay, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like Jay. Okay, I feel like Jay one when it comes to collab albums because you had the best of both worlds that didn't work out because of the R. Kelly situation. That's not his fault. But at least the first one, what to me was good. The second one that they did again, they should have never did the second one. They should have never because Def Jam didn't promote the first album. So why would they promote the second one? That wasn't needed. Watch the Throne was great. I do feel like that was his best collab album. I think a lot of the beats were more tailored for Kanye than Jay, but they had good chemistry together. You know what I'm saying? And they went on tour and all that, but I don't care to see Jay do another collab album. You did the whole Jay Electronica thing. That wasn't great. He don't need to do no more collab albums either. But
He also had one with Linkin Park, which was
right, which is like a mashup though. It was like a mashup.
okay.
You want the link? You
And it
said you want to
wasn't
jump
new
on the line.
material.
Yeah,
You
but I want
couldn't.
to hear what so because Sean, you live out in Cali. I want to hear your thoughts on this whole LeBron confronting Stephen A thing. Because I'm looking at all these comments and people is starting with LeBron. Y'all really hate Stephen A that much, even though y'all know LeBron is wrong for what he did. You know what I'm saying? So I want to hear what Sean has to say. I'm gonna definitely send you. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat. But I'm like, bro, like Drake got to take some years off. God, there's no coming back from this. There's no coming back from this. And then the whole thing with you suing UMG and like, come on, you want emails? He wanted to see the emails to prove that they wasn't behind promoting Not Like Us. Like, is it that serious?
And also, I felt like his attempt to soften the blow of him filing that lawsuit against UMG to to take on the good fight for everybody else in the industry.
Right.
That was so
That is
transparently.
stupid. Like you lost the first of all, and we talked about this before. You were never in my big three when it comes to this era. He was never in that. Who started that conversation? Was it his fan base? I want to know because talking to other hip hop heads, we never put Drake in the big three with Kendrick and J Cole. He was never that type of artist. To me, I think there was other artists that skipped him, like Benny and Conway, like Rock Marcy, like who else? Elzai. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a ton of other even a young artist like what's his name uh the dude that had the kid with the tennis player. I forgot his name.
Corday,
Corday is better than him. Corday is better than him lyrically.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What up, Sean?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's good? What do you think about the LeBron thing? Do you think LeBron was in the right?
You was in the wrong. You invited that. You invited
Exactly.
all the smoke.
Exactly.
I don't even like Stephen A. Smith. To be honest with you, the
Right.
dude got 100 million because he be ass kissing for the past 20 years. But that's a different topic.
Hmm.
But LeBron, you said that the whole league, the league that is at the weakest point in NBA history, said that man, this league is lightweight. My son could beat everyone's ass.
Hmm.
Half of the league ain't none my son level. And I'll
Exactly.
be like, okay, what did we see in college?
Hmm.
The man was scoring barely 2 points in college in my dream school.
Hmm.
Listen, listen, bro, man. I never I haven't not been a LeBron fan since when he got to Miami,
Right.
but this got me into the cake, man. Your bum son is playing in my college, and you playing in my team, the team that I have been repping since 1999,
Mm.
bro. That makes me sick. It's like a man. It's like a person you don't even like, man, and go into your favorite burger spot,
Mm.
and you be while you eat, you actually just actually can't stand his presence over there. That is LeBron Ramon James. I can't stand him.
Yeah. And imagine how plays like Patrick Beverly, when he hears that, how he feels, or Russell Westbrook. You really think they're gonna bow down to Bronny because he's your son?
Bro, it's not even. It's not. I don't even think it's like Russ would say anything bad to his son. It's just that LeBron James cannot face against criticism. He is pampered. He has been spoiled for the past 20 years on doing anything what he wants.
I
The
agree.
players he gets every single player. He gets every single referee call. He get all these things. No technical fouls. The dude is playing physical in a non-physical era.
I've never seen LeBron kicked out of a game,
Not even one time.
not once.
And then when things is not falling in his favor, he pretty much quit. He
Yep.
quit. He
Yep.
ran. You know what I mean? He might have to return to a cycle. You know what I mean? In order
Yep.
to buff him some delts or something. Since that's the only way he actually prolonged his career. I mean, outside not taking no practices, this man single handedly ruined the whole entire NBA culture.
I think so. I definitely agree with that. That super team
Like the
shit, that was all him.
like the fans, even the way the fans like right now is not what the way that fans was thinking back then. Like fans used to be more intellectual. They have be more prideful with their teams.
Right.
Everybody's now like, oh, I'm so cool. I'm gonna jump on every team that is winning right now.
Yeah.
What
That's
type
whack.
of dick rider shit you are?
That's
Like,
whack.
bro, I know the Lakers lost multiple times. And I did not jump ship. I mean, I'll be a fan of other players from different teams, but I never had jump shit saying like, man, I ain't screwing with the Lakers
It's
anymore.
whack. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I even have a Gary Payne jersey. Like what? And he lost it in the NBA Finals. So what makes any excuses?
Exactly.
Like these fans are a bunch of dick riding motherfuckers, just like their king. That guy
Yeah.
right there is no different. That he thinks like a fan, the modern day NBA fan. If things not going to work, I'm going to jump shit. I ain't gonna take an L this
He
day.
he put too much pressure on Braun, especially when Bronny's coming off with the heart condition. He didn't finish the season at USC, and you put too much pressure immediately
I
on him.
wouldn't go over there. I wouldn't go near over there. I don't think LeBron James put pressure on him. I think Bronny knows that this is his only ticket to go to the NBA.
By having his dad orchestrate the trade to the Lakers.
Yes, man. You
But
gotta
but he
understand,
he
bro,
could have stayed
bro,
at USC and played 2 more seasons and then get drafted high.
bro. Do you really think that a man who's scoring 2 points a game on the bench has a chance to play in the Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers? It's like you
I mean,
thinking that some bum playing in the Knicks. Think about it, man. Like
did he?
you're
I
talking
thought he
about a
scored more.
storied
Hold on, I thought he
franchise.
scored more at USC than just 2 points.
Nah, bro, he scored barely 2 points a freaking game in USC. He is a certified bum,
So how did he go from if he scored 2 points at USC, but he scored like 31 points in the G League? That G League must really be shit.
bro. You have to understand, Bronny James. Okay, he is improving.
Right.
He's improving the G League. The problem is, before that, he was playing like a certified bum.
Wow.
People be like he didn't even get the memo until when he gets over here. People are laughing at him. People are trolling and saying like, man, MVP and whatever thing. My Lakers look at my as a Laker fan, I keep on being embarrassed. People are saying like, hey man, he's worth only 7 million. But you know how many great players that cost 7 million?
Exactly.
Austin Reeves wasn't even drafted. He was an undrafted player, and
Right.
he actually got into the NBA by just working hard, putting that mentality that I ever seen. It kind of
Now he's
reminded me of Kobe Bryant.
now he's
That
having a
is
good
something
season.
where, and he has been playing every single season, good to great. He is
Right.
about right now. He is pretty much one of those guys who's in the All Star level that is not All Star.
Mm, interesting.
And LeBron James was almost wanting him to get traded.
That's crazy.
Yes,
For
yes,
who?
the bald one, the LeBald one wants to him to get traded, and I was like, bro, you complain about all this help, and you want to get more old niggas coming in?
Do,
Like, come
do you
on,
really
man.
think? Do you really think they didn't tell LeBron about Luca coming in?
Bro, LeBron James knows. Bro, you don't understand.
Uh,
I have been in the NBA or have been understanding this exposure for years.
mhm.
LeBron James got all the power. You know, like Kanye West, when it
Yeah,
comes to power, my beautiful dark twisted fantasy,
yeah.
that is LeBron Ramon James for the past 20 years. Actually, I'll say 15 years.
He called out
Like
his
ever
middle
since
name,
he got all the power.
Ramon.
He got all the power.
Wow.
How can a man have all that power? The clock
Yeah,
ticking. I just clocked it. That's LeBron Ramon James every single freaking day. But
yeah.
when someone's not giving that power, he will complain.
I think yeah, but what happens when he's gone? Is he like when he
Then the
retires?
NBA will
Is he
heal.
still gonna be to have all that power in the league?
Oh no, there's gonna be a lot of exposing. There's gonna be a lot of snitching, and there's gonna be a lot of white. You know, I mean, what's the word? Whistleblowing. There's gonna
Right,
be a lot of whistleblowing in this motherfucker. They're gonna do is they're gonna tell every single secret. Right now, you know, I mean, the players right now is exposing things that LeBron James does that make him even more. Well, it even confirms me that he is
right.
more of a sucker than I ever thought.
Yeah,
The Dwight Howard, aka Bussy Man, expose him for and also Mario Chalmers expose him
right.
for being such a bitch because he's not playing no defense.
Yes, that I believe. I believe that.
I mean,
And
like, and people want to promote him as saying that he's playing both sides of the floor. I said, come on, you guys, why are you guys treating us like toddlers? Like I have never
I,
been in the league for what,
the, but
15 years?
the thing is, he met his match now because now you're dealing with $100 million journalist that's on the same level of you that he can say anything that he
Nah,
wants.
nah, bro. He's not. Stephen A. Smith is an ass kisser. He's not on the same level. He
You,
has
you
been
believe
ass,
you really believe he's an Escus from the shit that he said over the years about different players?
bro. Just because he's from New York, don't mean he's gonna bark.
No,
He's gonna bark bark. You
again,
know.
it ain't no favoritism. I'm going by the stuff that he said. Most of the time, when it comes to sports, I feel like he knows what he's talking about.
Bro, Stephen A. Smith is an absolute ass kisser. He doesn't know any sports. He doesn't even watch the games. He just follows what the prompts say, and he'll be overemphasizing because of his personality.
So you feel like he be capping a lot with the stuff he's saying.
Bro, he be lying to his knees, bro. Bro, you think that he got $100 million because he's a good sports analyst?
I
Heck
thought
no.
to me, I think he is. I think he says the shit that people don't say when it comes to sports.
Okay, bro. Okay. If
He's-
Stephen A. Smith was such a great sports analyst, ESPN should not be losing ratings like that.
I mean, there's other outlets that people watch.
Bro, you don't understand. There is a reason why people are going to different outlets. It's not because they're too cheap for watching ESPN. It's
Uh-huh.
because ESPN as a product is garbage.
So who do you watch when it comes to sports news or whatever?
I be watching on YouTube, bro.
You watch YouTube,
I be
so you're
yeah,
not into like watching like Shannon and Ocho or uh uh
absolutely not. What do they teach me about basketball? Shannon Sharp, all he does is kiss LeBron James' ass
right,
and trying to smell uh the underwear that LeBron James wore in the last game. That's what Shannon Sharp does.
right.
You know what I mean? Ocho Cinco, all he does is be like, "Hey, bro, you know, I'm just being cheap, eating McDonald's. I might smash a Brazilian bitch, but you know, outside that's about it. You know,
You're not into what's that the one with Joy Taylor? I forgot that the name of that one.
You mean FS1?
Yeah,
Absolutely
FS1. Yeah,
not, man. I never watched FS1. I mean,
yeah,
Georgia is cool, you know. I mean, she's good looking, but at
right,
the same time, though, like that still did not make me to come over there and say, oh, I want to watch FS1. I
right,
watch the sports the channels the sports channels I watch is when it comes of watching analytical basketball,
right.
talking about NBA history, and that's all it is.
Okay,
And exposing this bum guy, that's what we're talking about.
right. What about TNT? You watch them?
I mean, I watch it on YouTube, you know what I
Yeah,
mean, and also when I be, me watching some games here and there,
right.
I'd be seeing it. But still, even with that, um, I think that they should need be a more of a. They have to have a more of a bigger show. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like a 2 hour run. While even saying like this is halftime, they shouldn't even make their own show. If they do that, then I could stay in tune with that. But outside that, uh, you know what I
So
mean? Most of my content is on YouTube.
so you
You know,
feel like Stephen A is a liar, but you feel like LeBron was wrong though.
yes, LeBron James is wrong because Stephen A. Smith has been kissing his ass for over 15 years. Like, let me think about it. Why are you angry at your ass kisser when you're the one who gassed up your son like that?
Right. Exactly.
It's like me. If I'm gassing up a car, like this car is the most dopest thing I saw.
What?
It's better than every other supercar, and it costs over $100,000.
But I'm not saying that. I don't think I would say that he was gassing his son. I think as a parent,
Bro, he
he's
was
a,
gassing him up. He was gassing him
so
up,
so
bro.
you don't think as a parent that you're supposed to give your child upliftment and and be positive. I don't think as a parent you could say it was gassing them, but at the same time it's like the reason why Bronny's not playing is because of LeBron.
I mean, my perspective of parenting is gonna be somewhat boomerish. You know what I
Right,
mean? you know,
right,
your parents are not gonna be your friend. They're not always gonna be your friend. They're gonna be extremely honest to you of your capabilities and the things of what you do. They
and
will be positive
he
of the
hasn't been honest
effort.
with Bronny then because he's supposed to tell Bronny like, yo, this is what you need to work on.
Bruh, the dude does. You expect a guy who has been pampered by the NBA for 20 years telling his son
Yeah,
that you need to improve this and
yes,
that?
because
Absolutely
because he's
not.
a parent. What you mean?
Absolutely not.
He's a
He
parent.
is a.
I've seen videos of Bryce playing, and he plays better than Bronny. Bryce right now, if you want between the two, Bryce right now could be a better NBA player than Bronny.
I agree,
So what is
but
what is
at the,
what is Bryce doing right that Bronny isn't?
to be honest with you, I think that Bryce actually is. I think he takes basketball more seriously than Bronny.
So what
Bronny
is
is
so
there.
Bronny's not in it for the game? What is he in it for?
I think Bronny is there for the aesthetics, and to be honest with you, he is there because well, I look at it both ways. I
Uh,
think that it's both his father wants him to be there because he wants to impact more of his legacy,
right.
and two, he just there because he thinks playing basketball will make him look good.
Hmm.
He's like for him, like, hey, bro, like finally, I was the kid who be playing 2K for
Right.
the past 15 something years. Now I'm in the NBA, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Now
play
you
like
got
I'm
to
in
really play
2K.
those people you were playing in that video game.
Like, come on, bro. Like
That
this
that
is just a
if
joke.
if if that's the case, he's not gonna last long in the league. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a grown man league, and the way that LeBron fighting his battles, it makes him look bad.
I mean, at the end of the day, he did this to himself, and LeBron James did to himself too. You
I agree.
gas up a trash ass motherfucker to even thinking that he's like, oh, uh, he's better than everyone else in the league. Like, come on,
It,
man.
and the thing is, LeBron ain't gonna be there forever, so LeBron ain't gonna have to
Man, he's
really
gonna
learn how to
play
play.
until he's 50 because of those new drugs, man. Like, shoot, that shit, that anti-aging shit, he's gonna be
Right,
playing until 50.
Bronny gonna have to learn how to play somehow, with or without his dad's help. If he want to stay in the league, he got to learn to play without LeBron.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? It's and I was saying I'm like, yo, LeBron got to take the parent out of it because you are his teammate now. You can't be dad and teammate on the same damn court.
bruh, the dude is both player, GM, coach.
That's hurting the
He
Lakers.
was, and
That's the
I've
thing.
been saying that for years. I've been
Yeah,
saying that for ever since he came in the Lakers.
that's hurting the
Like
Lakers.
Laker fans thinking that this is like, oh my God, we have a Kobe like type of player. No, we don't. We got the most privileged player in the NBA who all you gotta do is to get some stats, break some records, and make excuses. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? Like,
That.
unless of course you're with top five player, like AD and even Luca, he doesn't have a chance to
So
win a
what happens
championship.
when they fire JJ Redick? Then who they get?
Man, he's gonna find a new a puppet in order for him to talk his piece. JJ
Crazy,
Redick is nothing more but a puppet, bro.
crazy. They got to take the from the front office if they want to win another title. They got to take the reins away from LeBron because he's hurting that team.
The rings, there
You know
ain't
what I'm
no
saying?
rings. Well, there's
The
a Mickey
I,
Mouse
I'm
ring,
I
but
meant the reins. They got to take the reins away from the power because they didn't do that shit with Magic. He wasn't calling the shots there. Kobe wasn't doing that.
here's
You know
the
what I'm
thing
saying?
though. Kobe and Magic are better competitors than LeBron.
Right,
They face against adversity. LeBron James is scared of adversity.
right,
But yeah, like I absolutely don't like Stephen A. Smith, but LeBron James was wrong. You the one who gassed up Bronny James. You said the league is light work.
right.
Well, shoot, show us, motherfucker.
Exactly,
Show this.
exactly.
Show us that
The
this
league
league
was
is
light
light
work for
work.
him. It ain't light work for Bronny.
I mean, to be honest with you, the league is at its weakest point as of now. But what happened, man? What happened to all that thing you just say? Like this
Exactly.
is light work. You know, he's gonna beat everyone and blah blah blah. What happened to that?
I thought honestly when Bronny came into the league that we would see like some high flying alley oops from him. We would see some passes from LeBron to his son. We didn't get none of that.
Now the only passes that LeBron gave to Bronny is the best seat for the new show. It's a, you know what I mean? If you want to watch the game in real time, here it is,
Uh,
son. You will watch me playing basketball
oh
in
man,
front with the team, and you be behind the inside stoop.
right.
You be talking. I'll be
You on the
talking to the
bench.
coach.
That's the best view you getting.
Yeah, that's the best view you get.
That that is why he needs to be in the G League, polishing his skills, not on the bench, because they're not going to use him.
Well, at the end of the day, as long as LeBrick is there, he's gonna have some leeway.
Man,
That's why
what
I
you think,
absolutely
Rock?
hate LeBron. That's
What you
why I
think? What
hate
you
him.
think, Rocker? What you got? How you feel about this? Rocker, you there? You might have stepped away. But oh man, I just feel I can't. I'm looking at these comments. I'm like, yo, so many people like they either they hate Stephen A. or they delusional to think that LeBron was right.
Bro, they are LeBron James fans. They are the stands, man. And also, this
I
is also another thing. We in I mean, as far as like, I'm not gonna. Well, I'll just say, in the black community, everyone looks upon,
Right.
vicariously follow someone else's success.
Hmm.
Me thinking that, hey, this person is an inspiration to us, and I've been watching him. He has been a great success for us,
Right.
and such. And so, hey, I don't want to say any bad things to say about him. But here's the thing, though. The dude is making his own shit. We never. I'm not making stuff up. He the one did it
Yeah, I agree.
in real time.
I
I
agree.
didn't say anything negative. If
But
I, if
we heard him say that for years that he wanted to play with Bronny.
Well, yeah, of course, but I didn't expect him to do what he has to do, and then he's still playing 40 minutes a game,
Right.
trying to break some stats, thinking that he is like the head honcho.
Right. And At first he said, "Oh, I'm gonna go to any team that drafts Bronny." Then Rich Paul comes out and says, "Oh well, we don't want no team drafting Bronny but the Lakers." That's all LeBron that did that shit.
Bro, you have to know LeBron James is a known liar. Or what the kids say, he is a capper.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I just feel like he's gonna go down as one of the best, but there's shit that people don't like about him.
He will go down as one of the best, but it will be from one of the best to a certain event. It's
Right.
gonna be like Watergate.
Yep. Yep.
Except it's Balco Gate.
Right.
By the time he
Not
finishes,
no
it's
big
like
facts.
the floods go in. It's not gonna affect the NBA. It's
Right.
gonna affect all sports because LeBron, like, I'm not trying to lie here to say he does own clutch sports. Like Rich Paul did not just like, oh, when I meet LeBron James, I make this amount of money
Right.
because out of determination because I want to be an agent for LeBron James. No, LeBron James gave him practically enough money so he could start a sports agency.
I agree. Rocker, you there? Yo, I think Rocker either fell asleep or he just left.
I don't know. I mean, either way, I'm still gonna
Got
cook.
it.
I'm still gonna
he
cook on
he
this
said, "The hell with
motherfucker.
this LeBron talk. I'm out."
I mean,
I
hey,
just wanted.
I love
Uh,
hip hop too, man. But when it
oh
comes to
yeah,
basketball,
of course.
I mean, that shit right now is pissed off. Hip hop is in a better space right now
Right.
than what basketball is.
Oh yeah.
Even though the similarities is there, but
Right.
you know,
What albums you been bumping lately?
well,
Anything new? Anything old?
all I've been bumping is like what was the what is it? Larry June and the Two Chains album.
I love that album.
The
I
album was smooth.
I love that. And this is the brilliance of Alchemist that he can make anybody sound good over his tracks. You know what I'm
I mean,
saying? I was
I wouldn't go that far because
no
Two Chains has been like I like even though at the first I thought Two Chains was whack. You know
same.
what I mean? When at the time when he was popping,
Uh,
like during the in the 2010s,
right,
the early 2010s, I was like, man, you guys overrate this guy.
right,
And then, but later down the line, like, okay, he can spit. He can spit some lyrics. You know what I mean?
right.
He's a good lyricist.
I liked him on the Collie Grove album with Weezy. I think he really outshined even Weezy in some of those tracks. And then like listening to this album, I'm like, yo, he really outshined Larry June on this album.
But Larry June was never a lyricist like that.
Well, I know people don't care for
He's a
the
smooth guy.
yeah, people don't care
He's
for the for his tone or whatever. I'm like, it's a different style compared. I mean, like there's a lot of them that's doing that style now though. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I think Larry June is like real smooth with it, and he has like a ear for beats, and I love his stuff. But Two Chainz really surprised me. I was pleasantly surprised with this project. I've never been a fan of his shit. I've never liked his stuff. So I'm like, yo, he sounds good
you
on this
gotta have to
album.
listen to some of his albums. You do have to listen to
What
some
what
of
do you,
his
what do
albums.
you recommend? Like his older stuff. What would you recommend?
The two G albums I will actually recommend
Yeah.
is the irony rapper Go to the League. It's the
Okay.
one that is curated by LeBron Ramon James.
Oh God. Of
Oh,
course.
ugh, I hate that
Wow.
motherfucker, but the album is good and also Pretty Girls Like Trap Music.
Okay.
I'll say those two albums,
Right.
those they're dope.
Okay.
They're dope.
Dope. Dope. Yeah. That's so. I mean, I love Alchemist. I think Alchemist has been on a great consistent streak. I don't think I've ever heard an Alchemist album that was whack. Like for the most part, he like all the stuff he's done with people has been great. You know. So yeah,
But
like
some
that.
people in hip hop Twitter is complaining that Alchemist is putting too much shit. I'll be like, bro, you should be blessed to have him putting too much
Exactly.
shit. You should
Exactly.
be blessed. That's like
Exactly.
me. It's like me complaining about like, hey man, oh my favorite my favorite spot that I get for I don't know for tables is putting
Right.
too much shit. You know what I mean? No, I'll be blessed with putting too much shit
He
because
he's
they
doing
have great tables.
he's doing an album with Erica Badu. Like that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? We getting an Erica Badu and Alchemist album this year. That's dope. I want to hear. I'm definitely interested in hearing that. You know what I'm saying? And he has like a whole bunch of other projects he's doing. I'm like, yo, this nigga cannot miss. This man cannot miss right now.
Hey man, Alchemist has always been my top 10 greatest
Same,
producers of all time. You
same,
know, they
definitely.
always have been like that. It never changed.
The stuff he's done like for Dilated Peoples and for Mob Deep and Currency and Griselda, I love him, man. Like he to me, he's the best producer in this era right now.
Uh, I
No, who's your
mean,
favorite producer right now?
to me, I'm still gonna say Madlib in my
Okay,
personal opinion, but
yeah.
I mean Alchemist is he's up there. You
Oh
know what
yeah,
I mean?
Madlib is great too. I love the stuff Madlib has done. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? I still feel like Freddie Gibbs makes his best shit with Madlib and Alchemist. You know, his other albums that I've heard, I was like, it's okay, but he definitely be ready for Alchemist and Madlib.
I mean, yeah, Alchemist and Madlib are his greatest work. I
Yeah,
do love I do love his other albums. Like,
yeah,
I mean, I get, like, there's people who don't like the trap shit, but I think Freddie Gibbs is he's one of those. He's pretty much the only guy right now I could say is so versatile enough to do every single day.
right.
At this point, he's like the most
Definitely,
versatile rapper
definitely, and I know
ever.
he's gonna give Erica Badu some heat. I can't wait to hear that project when it drops. And man, that's definitely inspiring me to hear. You know what I
But I
mean?
have to say, Alchemist, you gotta pump your brakes on trying to work with Future, man. Like,
Oh
you might have
God,
to pump your
is
brakes,
he trying to
man.
work with Future?
I mean, he said I saw in the video like Alchemist trying to work with Future. I don't know about that, man. You might have to pump your brakes. I don't know about all
That's
that.
wild. He just trying to work with anybody, B. That's
I mean, I
crazy.
get you want to be creative. You're saying like, hey man, you don't have to limit yourself.
Yeah,
I sometimes hate when rappers and even producers say
that,
that. Like,
that's
no one never said that you should limit yourself. We just want dope shit,
right.
We want you to get with the right people so you can make dope shit. It never was
Right,
about limiting yourself.
facts,
But yeah, Alchemist and Future, I don't know. I don't really know about all that.
facts. Ah man, yeah, man. I just wanted to come on here and talk about this LeBron and Stephen A. thing. I'm like, yo, I can't believe so many people is on LeBron's side for this shit.
Bro, you have to understand. People will ride for anyone who's making money, man.
Right,
They will ride for him, and they don't care if the man is grimy, as long as they actually give him the illusion. Like
right,
LeBron James will say, LeBron James give the illusion saying that I am this pro black activist
right.
when you never done anything to black community, or
Crazy.
or I read Malcolm X books, but you
Right.
never read Malcolm X books. Like you constantly be lying just in order to make yourself better than what it is. Well, with Michael Jordan,
Mhm.
even though people give Michael Jordan heat during his prime,
Right,
and also especially the controversies of his Air Jordans, especially with the
right,
hood shootings and all
mhm,
that, if you know what I mean. He
right.
actually did promote the black community much more than LeBron James.
Oh yeah, for
The
sure.
the Charlotte the Charlotte Bobcats. He
Yes.
actually bring more black people in an NBA franchise than
Right.
anyone else in NBA history. He
Right.
also he also opened more healthcare and more opportunities for the black people.
Yeah.
The irony part, even though people will be like, man, Michael Jordan never did anything to the black community.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, sorry to tell you, but the proof is there. I mean, he's done more things. It's just that y'all just hate him because he be smoking your teams like
Right.
Applewood,
Oh yeah. I couldn't stand the thing, and the crazy thing is I couldn't stand Jordan in the '90s when the Bulls would play my Knicks. But I was rocking his sneakers, which is crazy because I don't think that would ever happen for another athlete. You know what I'm saying?
Michael
Like I
Jordan is
couldn't
the guy
stand him.
that
I'm
you
like, yo,
hate,
we got to stop
but
this
he's too
dude.
damn good.
He was too good. I was like, yo, I can't stand him, but I love his sneakers. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
mean,
it was
I'll be a late if I was in the '90s
uh
and also watching the Lakers. I'll be like, man, I'll be mad as hell facing against Michael Jordan. But
yeah,
he's just too damn good. You
he
just
was too
cannot
good.
do anything about it.
He was too good. I'm like, damn.
You won't
Yep, we got to
understand the
stop
hype.
this nigga. And the time when we finally was able to beat Chicago, he wasn't even there. He was playing baseball. I'm like,
Yep.
man, it's crazy, yo. You know, but yeah, it's like I had to do a lot of about this. I'm like, yo, this shit is bothering me because I'm like, I feel like the narrative is being twisted in LeBron's favor because he's a parent and all the parents are siding with him. I'm like, but what about the
Bro,
ones
it's
that
never was, bro. I don't think people cares about him being a parent. It's
right,
because he's LeBron Ramon James. They will defend LeBron James for their life depends on it.
right,
It's just like it's almost like this. Stephen A. Smith has always been saying that LeBron James is the second greatest player in his goal list, and that's not enough. If you cannot be satisfied for someone who's in the second greatest player ever, and the plus you have been kissing his ass for what, a decade and a half, there's nothing. Then to be honest with you, you fool yourself. Stephen A. Smith, he fooled himself. That's what it is, you know. LeBron, look, at the end of the day, man, LeBron James, he's gonna continue acting like he's gonna be acting in the spirit of sensitivity,
yeah,
and there's nothing you could do about it. He has all the privilege in the world, and until when he gets exposed or he even retires,
right,
there's nothing he will do about it. I hope Stephen A. actually learn. Well, I don't even think he will learn his lesson. He knows that he should be not be sad because he be kissing his ass.
right.
Like you have no reason to be sad.
Facts,
You know how many players you have been blacklisted for the past 20 years
facts,
off your platform, and now when someone do the same thing to you, your admirer, now you want to feel absolutely absurd and oh my god, I feel I've been exposed. I
right.
feel so naked. I'm like, man,
Crazy. Yeah, man. But I mean, yeah, this I just wanted to get on here for a minute and talk about this and uh I'm doing even though I'm doing more live streams on Instagram, but from time to time I'm gonna still do live streams on YouTube and I got like some new videos coming, so definitely stay tuned for that. Yo, always welcome to join us if you're available, when we go live on here. So I'm glad that you could finally come through and give your take on the whole LeBron and Stephen A thing.
not a problem, man.
You
You
know,
know, this man has been ruining my team for the past 6 7 years,
right?
and I'm just tired of it. I've been tired of him. I want him to be gone.
Yeah.
So any place I'm going to be there cooking and spread the gospel, I'm
Yep.
going to be there. Just
No
tired of
doubt.
it.
No doubt, man.
Hey,
Definitely,
your
definitely.
your Knicks has has potential this
Oh
year,
yeah.
but they
I'm
got
watching
they
them now.
got to
They
face
they
against they
they're
got to
playing
face
Portland
against
right
top
now.
tier teams. They
Oh
got
God.
to
Here you go.
they got to beat top tier teams. I'm
There you
sorry,
go.
man. You
I
guys were
agree, right? I agree.
McCarthy Towns was turning up as a nigga. I never seen him like that before. But
Uh
you guys still need to be like big teams in order
yeah.
for you guys to like
We-
we're serious. We're serious contenders because
It it
now eh,
it seemed like okay, we got the Sixers out of the way, but we gotta deal with Boston still. We gotta deal with Cleveland, you know. Um I think by playoff time we'll be ready. Hopefully Brunson come back healthy and the whole team is ready for that playoff run and we don't have no more injuries. Because the playoffs is a whole different thing compared to the regular season. I'm not worried about them in the regular season, but I want to see they gotta play better this postseason than they did last year. You know what I'm saying? Because I still feel like we could have beaten Indiana, but we just ran out of healthy players, and everybody was getting injured. But hopefully, if we're healthy, I want to see them beat Cleveland if they got to play them, and beat Boston is a team to beat to get to the finals anyway. So if we want to get to the finals, we got to beat
Nah,
Boston.
I personally think that Boston is gonna be getting out of there.
You think Cleveland is a team?
Cleveland is that team.
Okay. I want to see. I definitely want to see if they got what it takes. You
Yeah,
know,
man. I mean,
and
right as of now, it
and
looks like
if
it.
that's the case, I'm gonna definitely come on here again, and we'll do like a postseason live stream, and you could join us.
Alrighty.
You know what I mean? Cause we gonna cover like each playoff matchup. So we'll do the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. You know what I mean? But no, definitely shout out to you. Shout out to Rockabash. Rockabash fell asleep. So I know he was tired. Shout out to Rockabash. Shout out to Reg. I saw Reg in here for a minute. And yeah, I'll definitely do another live stream very soon. And thanks once again, Sean, for joining us.
No problem, bro.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace. Have a good night.
You too.